Down and 5 for the Barcelona Dragons. Short drop, wide to his left. Got a receiver, good enough for first down yardage. Eric Stevens on the tackle. Tyree Davis coming up with another catch. The offensive line has got better and better for the Barcelona Dragons. Fellas with 16 years of NFL experience behind, and one Super Bowl winner there, Mo Elewanibi, with the Washington Redskins. These guys seem to be getting better as the weeks progress.
And the average weight of that line is 310 pounds per man.
And Jay Walker, pretty big for a quarterback himself. He's about 230. First down for the Dragons. Again, good pump fake, flag goes down, just dumped. First down yardage. Kenny McIntyre in on the stop, but Ricky Blake on a little dump off, but a flag is down. We'll have to wait for the call on that.
Which looked like there could be a holding, and they... Nope.
It's against London.
Again. Interesting, Barcelona's coming out throwing the ball on the first 3 plays. They know London is going to be thinking about them trying to establish the run, so they've come out with a short passing offense.
Come on, get lined up out
with
there.
Ricky Blake getting close to first down yardage, they may decline this one. We'll have to...
Offside on the defense, number 63. The penalty is declined.
They do
Second
decline
down.
it, and it's AJ jumping for the second time. AJ Jenkins, one of the pass rushers, anxious to get in there. Herman Smith is on the other end. Gerald Nichols, who's done such an outstanding job since arriving, will try and stop it up the middle with Billy Lofton in support. Down short for the Barcelona Dragons. Again, they get away. Flag. It looked like that London Monarch defensive line is just champing at the bit.
It was Herman Smith this time who's going to be called, but the only question is whether somebody actually moved and drew him across.
So 3 flags already on this opening series. Phil Luck getting a workout. And so far, no sign of the danger man, Demetrius.
And you know, Barcelona was aware, Jack McNell said yesterday, he was aware that London would take steps to try to shut Demetrius Davis off. Kevin Porter, you see, 29, is the guy who really has to do it. So they're going to look for something else to try to open that up.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 63. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
This is a dreadful start from AJ Jenkins. 3 offsides already. The linebacking crew, Dave Hoffman, has done an outstanding job in the middle. Rick Newbill, he's had a good year too as well. Nick Smith on the other side of the 4-3 front.
And Jay Walker's going with long counts. They're going offside. Watch them to continue doing that. 3
wide receivers in for the Barcelona Dragons. Single setback, and they give, and going through the middle for good yardage. Lindsey Chapman will pick up 4 or 5. Gerald was there to meet him. In fact, it's Blake.
And now's the time they can run up the middle, having thrown on the first 4 possessions. Then try. They had a nice little hole there. He got a good yardage. Gerald Nichols will see a lot of double teaming during this game.
A 9-year NFL veteran, Nichols. Second down and makes a pickup of 4. A long hold once again. They show blitz. Walker gives to Blake, who tries to get past Porter and does, and gets to first yardage. Establish the running game. Kevin Porter beaten on that play.
And Kevin Porter just missed the tackle. They had it defensed right. The linebackers were coming. Barcelona went wide. Porter came up, but he broke the tackle.
Porter joined at safety as usual by Edward Buck on the corners. McIntyre, who looks healthy, and Carlton Lance, and they need a fit McIntyre. When he dropped out of the lineup last week, it really hurt them.
And he took a bad bruise on his thigh. We got a hit there with a helmet. They need him to be 100% in the defensive backfield.
Talking of 100%, Ricky Blake now looks 100% after his ankle problems earlier in the season, and they need him as well because Charles Thompson is gone for the year, their leading running back.
That's right, Charles Thompson separated his shoulder, and what they had with Thompson and Blake was a good contrast in styles. Ricky Blake is big, but he's fast, he can get outside. Thompson's small and squirmy.
Well, the drive all the way down to London's 29-yard line, helped by 3 penalties. Jay Walker looking to get the Dragons on top early. He goes to his left again. He gets a completion. Eric Stevens was there in single coverage, but it's another completion. It goes to Mario Henry, the man from the NFL's New England Patriots.
And one thing you wonder with Jay Walker is he's a very raw quarterback. He's got great talent, a great arm, good leadership skills. I mean, he really seems to drive the team, but he's reading really well so far in this game. You can see that he's looking at the defense and he knows where he's going to go.
Made a lot of errors in the first 3 games. Much better performance in the last 3. Really settling into his role now. Gibbs once again plowing up the middle, just mixing it up. Herman Smith was in there, Billy Lofton too. And it looks like they may have just saved a first down there, but Ricky Blake got close.
And he ran right behind Mo Elowanibi, who didn't practice at all this week. He's got a torn calf muscle. They bandaged it up. Ricky Blake, you see, good rushing average in that last game, big game against London. And there's Big Mo, number 67.
3rd down and a short yard for the Barcelona Dragons. London show blitz. Jay Walker keeps the ball, and he is such a big physical quarterback that he got that with ease.
And Jay Walker at about 6'3" and 230 pounds. He likes that quarterback sneak, but you see the way he does it. He pulls away from the line and then goes forward, and that hurt them last week because as he was pulling away from the line, he dropped the ball against Amsterdam in the last 2 minutes of the game, cost them the tying touchdown.
But he's probably the only quarterback in the World League who is a genuine rushing threat. Over 120 yards on the ground for the season and a couple of rushing touchdowns, including a run of 31 yards. Walker gives once again up the middle, a pickup of 2 or maybe 3 yards for Ricky Blake. Rick Newbill in on the stop.
And Billy Lofton down at the bottom did a nice job of holding his ground in the middle against the double team. Newbill came up, what a linebacker's supposed to do, made the tackle.
They're looking for that London Monarchs weakness. Barcelona, the #1 rush attack in the World League. London, the worst rush defense in the World League. It looks a mismatch on paper. Just yards there for Ricky Blake, but the Dragons moving the ball pretty well. And dropping back to pass. Walker's got a man wide open over the middle and deep into London territory. It's guess who? Demetrius Davis, one-on-one with the safety Edward Buck.
And we talked about Jay Walker reading the plays and Demetrius Davis killing London. You see the linebackers coming. There's Hoffman, 59, trying to pressure Walker up the middle. When the linebackers come, it means Demetrius Davis has to have open space in the middle.
And a bit of history there. Demetrius Davis's 100th catch in the World League. Only the 2nd player to achieve that feat. And it's brought up a 1st and goal inside the 5. Once again, Blake gets it. Not much doing from there. They stopped him up the middle. Kevin Porter came up from safety to make the stop.
And that's a big stop for London. So it puts a little bit of pressure on now close to the goal line. We asked Demetrius Davis yesterday how it would feel to hold the World League receptions record. He said, well, it's my 3rd year in the league. I ought to hold the records.
Now here's a little tester for you. He's the 2nd running back, or the 2nd receiver to get 100 catches. I'm going to ask you after this play, who leads the league? I'm going to do that to you, Mike. 2nd down and goal, the ball on the 4-yard line. You've got some time to think about that one. Davis is in the lineup, motion, Walker swings, and it's broken up. Carlton Lance did a good job, because that looked as if it was going in the receiver's hands, and Lance was there.
And Carlton Lance was all over him as he came across.
So go on, who's the all-time leading World League receiver?
Well,
I'll put you out of your misery.
I'll
Judd
tell
Garrett.
you, Judd Garrett of the London Monarchs.
There's Carlton Lance, the impact man.
All those 7-yard catches out of the backfield added up real quickly for Judd.
He was a great receiver out of the backfield for the Monarchs. How they could use him now. 3rd down and goal. The Monarchs looking to hold here. Walker takes a deep drop, just gets it off, and looked for Tyree Davis. It was just overthrown, and Walker got some pressure.
Dean Lytle was coming from the outside linebacker position and leveled Walker. You'll watch, he'll come from the right of your screen. Nobody picks him up. He's too fast as the back is releasing, but Walker gets the pass away. Had to hurry it a little and just overthrown.
And they got Davis isolated with Kevin Porter, the safety. Scott Zarady will attempt a field goal. He's 16 of 18 on the season. 23 yards. That's a chip shot for Zeredi. So it's the Barcelona Dragons on top first. Zeredi with a 23-yard field goal. They lead the London Monarchs by a score of 3-0. We'll be back after this.
The old adage, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. You know, I think about that a lot. So if something happens and we lose the football game, what I want to do is to get as much out of that negative experience as I can, and then use it the next time that we have the chance to compete.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
This spring, entertainment is in full swing. With these hits on Direct Ticket, a boy searching for a future, a coach running from a past.
Are you cracking up?
Watch their dreams come true.
Unbelievable!
In Angels in the Outfield, also playing this month.
Somebody call 911!
When you're ready for laughs, Rick Moranis goes big time to turn small wonders into gridiron heroes.
Jimmy, I'm not sure, but I don't think that goes there.
In Little Giants, 2 smash hits are yours to enjoy this month on Direct Ticket.
So Coach Bobby Hammond's defense holds reasonably firm on that first series. Barcelona started well but spluttered a little bit near the goal line, and Jack Bicknell had to settle for Scott Zeredi's 23-yard field goal. This fella's almost perfect on the season.
And he was cut by London, although you can't quibble with that because Don Silvestri's had a good year for London as well.
Shallow kick will be fielded by Eric Stevens at the 10. Stevens past the 20, past the 30, got some running room. And Stevens could be gone. Eric Stevens could be gone, looking to turn the corner. Touchdown London, Eric Stevens with his first kickoff return of the year, and what a play. "90 yards on the kickoff return for a fella who hasn't even been there before.
And this is the big play the London Monarchs could have needed. We've been waiting all season for them to get the lift that a big play can deliver. And I'll tell you, one of the key blocks in that play, number 91, Billy Lofton, the big man who goes back as the point man in the 3-man triangle D.
Well, Eric Stevens, who only went back because Kenny McIntyre has been banged up. They don't want to risk him. And I don't think he was touched on that return.
Great blocking by the London Monarchs. And look at the Barcelona bench. This is the kind of thing that can really deflate you when you come out and start off with a good drive.
Silvestri with the extra point. They had trouble last week, and Silvestri did a great job because the snap and the hold were not there. Silvestri did a good job there, but what a play from Eric Stevens.
Sonny Fexico did a nice job of just getting that ball up for Silvestri to kick. But let's watch on the kickoff return again. And now watch the big man, 91, Billy Lofton. Here, Stevens comes up behind the wall, and then he cuts in, and Lofton's just on his left, right there. He's just made the block that sets Stevens free. And now it's just 2 men to beat. And no one's going to catch Eric Stevens at this point.
Big play from Eric Stevens from Jacksonville State. Had an up and down kind of season in the defensive backfield. Comes in as the nickelback, having started the season as a starting corner. But what a huge play just when the Monarchs needed it. That was big.
And this changes the whole. Now Barcelona had come out. They'd moved right down the field. London did a good job of stopping them, holding them to a field goal. But you figured all the pressure was on London's offense. Well, right now that's been taken off. And Barcelona have to see if they can come back and reestablish their dominance.
The first kickoff return for a touchdown in the World League this season. And what about this for a turn-up? Amsterdam 0, Scotland 7 first quarter. The Brits are coming good. It's early days, but the Brits both ahead at this stage. Elsewhere, Frankfurt are leading Rhine 7-0. That too, a first quarter score. This such an important week for all 6 teams in the World League.
And a loss for Amsterdam would open up that second half of the season.
Shallow kick from Silvestri. It's fielded by Chapman. Can he do what Stevens did? No, he can't. Victor Ebubadike, number 35, the first man there. Let's go back to the studio and join Gary O'Reilly. Thanks very much. Good to see Victor getting a special teams tackle there as well.
right in on the play. There was no hole open for the kickoff return. Barcelona starts on the 30, which is not bad field position. But let's see what they can do.
They moved it pretty well last time they had the ball. But a kick return like that really can deflate a team with a lot of time, and a man wide open, and Mario Henry gets over the 40 and down to the 35, so it's Barcelona's turn to come back with a big play.
And you can see how Jack McNeil's thinking, let's come back with a big play and get that momentum back, and Jay Walker has lots of time to throw. London's not coming on this, they're not expecting the long pass, and look at how Walker delivers it. Zip, right in there. Carlton Lance had a chance at interception. The ball just came in so fast. Mario Henry had it. Big gain.
34 yards. Brings up a first down. Barcelona back in London territory. The give is to Blake, who just rolls over tacklers, and he's gone. No, he's not. Kenny McIntyre came over from left cornerback and saved a touchdown.
And we said Ricky Blake, 244 pounds, is big enough to run over people, and he just did that. Shades of Kevin Williams against London in the opening game of the season. Watch Ricky Blake move behind the blocking, just right through the tackle of Kevin Porter, shakes off another arm tackle by Edward Buck, and finally he's brought down by Kenny McIntyre. Low, but great run by Ricky Blake.
Ricky Blake scored on a 29-yarder against London 3 weeks ago. Takes the ball to the 9-yard line. Looks to turn the corner, is pushed back inside and gets nothing. Kevin Porter, who missed that tackle last time, made amends there.
And a nice job by the defensive end, Herman Smith, who stacked that play up and made Blake cut inside. There's Jerry Nichols, who was waiting for him when he did make that cut. But good defensive end play by Herman Smith on that.
Well, what an explosive start to the game. 6:17 left first quarter. We've had a field goal, a touchdown, a long running play, and a big passing play as well, all happening.
And just like the last time Barcelona got close to the goal line, that first down play is so important, because if you can stuff that first down play, then it means they've got to get yardage on the next two. They've only got 2 plays to go, or they'll settle for the field goal. And you can't let them keep it on the ground and work it in 3 yards at a time.
And this is where the experience of Gerald Nichols in that defensive huddle plays a big, big part. Bobby Hammond is out there as well, but Nichols, with his 9 years of NFL experience, really a settling force in there.
And you can see it in the middle of the line, how he uses up those blockers coming at him. They have to double team Gerald Nichols. Lewis Capes has come in at the other tackle spot right now with that quickness down by the goal line. Horace Morrison as well, and you've got to think now that the Monarchs are thinking pass, and they're probably going to come at Jay Walker.
Although we saw Joey Mickey still in the lineup, the blocking tight end for the Dragons, that would suggest that maybe they're keeping their options open.
And they've got Demetrius Davis tight at the other tight end, so it's 2 tight end offense for the Dragons.
Second down and goal from the 9. Deep drop, lots of protection. He's got a man. He's dropped it. Demetrius Davis drops a catch, and you won't see that too often.
And that was a sitter. That was 6 points right there. Demetrius Davis, the 2 tight ends were in. They both ran patterns. Joey Mickey at the left of your screen, Demetrius Davis on the right. Walker floats the ball in perfectly, leads Davis. Just lost his concentration as the defender came up.
Kenny McIntyre was there, but as you say, Mike, Demetrius Davis should have had that one. No real excuses for that. So, third down and goal. Barcelona looking to get back after the big kickoff return from Stevens. Walker, lots of protection, puts it upstairs. There's a bang, and Carlton Lance is going to be assessed, clattering into Tyree Davis. 2 flags down on that play.
No question on that one, as they just tossed the ball up for Tyree Davis to get under. It's almost a setup play on that. There's not much that Carlton Lance can do about it. London's got a lot of pressure coming, but Walker's only taken a 3-step drop, and he floats the ball up, and there's Carlton Lance. You see the result as he pushes Tyree Davis over.
And 2 flags straight away. Carlton Lance trying to protest his innocence, but quite what this conference is about, I'm not sure.
Unless you had 1 flag each way. We didn't actually see the moment of contact there.
So hope here for the Monarchs. If it goes against them, it's a first down automatically. Well, the fans out in force in Barcelona, always colourful, very supportive of their Dragons. And a penalty is assessed against Barcelona and London. It's offsetting penalties.
Let's take another look and see if we can see if it goes both ways. There's Walker putting the ball up in the air, and you don't really see which kind of push came in, but obviously Davis trying to get behind Lance. What it does mean, though, is that we replay the down, so it's still 3rd and goal from just inside the 10.
Although one marker has a 4th down, but they will replay the down. There, you see the 4th down going back to a 3rd down. So the Dragons have another chance. A lot of flags in this game early. The tension perhaps getting to both these teams. They know they have to win. 3rd down, Walker gets good protection, is flushed out of the pocket and down. Herman Smith was on top of him. Big play from the defensive end because Walker was looking for the end zone.
And good coverage there by the defensive backs. The pressure comes in and Walker reads it and leaves. You see on the left of your screen there, Lewis Age pushing Horace Morris out, so Walker moves up, but Herman Smith quick to react, and Horace Morris coming back to help out as well. Sets up another field goal situation for Scott Zaretti.
Another 23-yarder. High snap, fielded, no problem. Those short ones are food and drink for Scott Zaretti. But once again, London's defense bends, but it doesn't break. Barcelona have to settle for another field goal. London retain a 1-point lead, 5:30 left, first quarter.
And you get the sense that a few of the breaks are going London's way. There was Demetrius Davis dropping the pass and then the offsetting interference calls. So twice now Barcelona have come down into the red zone, and twice they've had to walk away with field goals.
One young fan getting an improved view of the action.
I think he's looking at the cheerleaders right now because there's no action on the field. Look, I see one of them. There she is.
There they are. But I think we have to say that this is a tension-filled game. Both these two teams know what's at stake. While it may be fun and laughter in the stands and on the sidelines, on the field, it's deadly serious.
And with that split season in the World League, either team getting their second loss in the second half of the season is going to make it very unlikely that they'll be able to qualify for that second World Bowl spot against the Amsterdam Admirals.
6 plays, 63 yards, leading to Scott Zaretti's second field goal of the evening. It's 7-6, Monarchs. Eric Stevens is back deep along with Ronnie West. You get the feeling they may try and kick away from Stevens this time. Off another shallow kick, which Stevens, no, it's West, will field in full flow at the 18 and runs straight into the tackle of Chris Crooms. Pau Cole was in there as well. And with 5:22 left in the first quarter, Brad Johnson gets onto the field for the first time. Had a disappointing afternoon against Frankfurt, 4 interceptions. He knows he has to play better than that this time.
Right, and he's a better quarterback than that. He was saying before the game, and everything just went wrong that possibly could. You saw before the kickoff the banner that said Forza Pau, and that was Pau Call who made the tackle.
So Johnston takes over at his own 32. Larry Wallace goes in motion, and they pitch it back to Brooks, who fumbled. But recovered his own fumble, but a loss of a couple of yards. Now they need something from Tony Brooks. Kevin O'Brien in on that stop.
And it looked like there was some room for Tony Brooks, but he just lost his footing as he started going. Stumbled up to the, actually a loss. He stumbled behind the line of scrimmage, so it's a loss of 2.
There's Brad Johnson's numbers this season. He is a better quarterback than that. But last week really hurt those numbers. The man from the Minnesota Vikings. The give this time is to Brooks, who gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, but no further. Byron Bonds in on the tackle. They need a healthy Tony Brooks. They need a productive Tony Brooks as well. He'll be joined in his backfield by Phil Bryant. Allen and Wallace are the wideouts. Mike Titley, who had a huge game against Frankfurt, is the starting tight end.
And 3rd and 10, passing down. These have been the plays that have been tough for London all year.
Johnson takes a deep drop, and it's close to first down yardage. Inevitably, in that situation, they go for Mike Pitley, who draws double coverage. John Brown, the new guy on the block, who only joined Barcelona this week, made the tackle, but it's good enough for a first down. The offensive line for the Monarchs, Lundberg and Moody on the tackle, Ritter, Baldwin and Wisdom are the interior linemen. Baldwin was saying, we got moved around a bit by Frankfurt, we're going back to some basics, we should be okay now.
And against the Barcelona Dragons, they face a 3-4 defense, only 3 linemen up front. Chris Crooms moving from free safety to strong safety because Mike Middleton's out, so the Monarchs go right to their tight end to see what's happening there.
Looks like the game clock may have run out there. Or tight end, I think Johnson saw the clock running down and has been forced to take a timeout. So a timeout on the field, we'll take one too. 3:36 left, first quarter. We'll be back after this.
Sam used every wall in the house for a backboard.
Yeah, he looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me.
He can do that maneuvering and get by.
I like to see Kenny when he steals it. He can steal a ball. 58 feet out. Swish. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him. Kenny would get it.
Guess he got it from his mother.
There are those who go flat out just for the fun of it, and those who don't. When you go after it like this, you work up a thirst. Now, how you choose to quench that thirst depends on the answer to this simple question. Are you a man or a mouse? Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
These drug cartels represent a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
It is my duty to report this matter to the Senate Oversight Committee. I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you come into this office and bark at me? I am the President of the United States.
How dare you, sir?
Harrison Ford. Clear and present danger. Playing this month on DirecTV.
Well, the London Monarchs on the sideline. There's defensive coordinator Bob Zeman discussing matters with Herman Smith and AJ Jenkins. Gerald Nichols was saying this one of the best defensive minds he's come across anywhere in the game.
And Gerald Nichols ought to know, 9 years in the NFL. There's a good match of quickness on the ends and strength in the middle on this London defensive line, and that's really true regardless of who's in at the defensive tackle spots.
Hugely improved when you consider how they were getting pushed around earlier in the season. It'll be a first down for the London Monarchs. Phil Bryant is going to wide receiver at the top of your screen on first down, leaving Brooks alone in the backfield. And they give to Brooks. He doesn't get a lot. Byron Bonds stayed with him and chased him down. Byron Bonds, the nose tackle from the Kansas City Chiefs, the only nose tackle in the World League. And he's flanked by a couple of very busy defensive ends, Chucky Johnson and Victor Hall. Hall, who only got his start because Traylor, another Kansas City Chiefs player, went down injured, and Hall took over his place and hasn't lost it.
And when you see nose tackles making plays outside the offensive tackles, you know they're doing a job.
No gain on the play, so second and long. Johnson puts it upstairs for Alan Allen, who's beaten his man and got him. Touchdown, London. Allen had one-on-one coverage, and he just blew his man away.
And once again, Brad Johnson looking at the short pass and then taking the deep route, and it worked this time. Alan Allen going deep, and the Monarchs are doing everything right.
Another huge play for the London Monarchs. The man that was burned was Sean Thomas, number 20, the defensive back. Allen just got behind him and kept on running, and the throw from Johnson right on the money. So trouble for Barcelona. Silvestri with the extra point. And straight through the middle. So 2:56 left, first quarter. A great start from the Monarchs. They lead the Barcelona Dragons 14-6.
2007, Los Angeles. Cops rule the day, punks rule the night, and one man wants to rule them all.
Look out!
Double Dragon on DirecTV.
Big plays, the story of the game so far here in Barcelona. Eric Stevens with a kickoff return of 90 yards and a 58-yard pass from Brad Johnson to Alan Allen. The Monarchs on top early. Lindsey Chapman lets the ball bounce over his head almost. Will take it at the 12. Cuts back inside and is cut down at around the 28-yard line. What a huge play that was from Johnson to Alan Allen.
Well, watch Alan Allen's head fake on this. He's going down the left side. Johnson pump fakes to the right, as we said. Then Allen goes long. He gave a little head fake. And it's not actually Stevens who got burned on that. It's Smith, the new boy. But it was a simple fake. He just made one short move, then went deep, and Smith got burned.
He likes big plays against Barcelona, Alan Allen. The last time they met, of course, he came up with 4 big plays. The London Monarchs still lost.
And once again, the pressure back on Barcelona.
Motion from the Dragons on first down. Walker drops, the pressure comes, he fires. He's got a man this time close to midfield, and the ball eventually squirting out. Kenny McIntyre in on the stop, but Demetrius Davis picking up around 19 yards.
And watch the crowd that Demetrius Davis attracts here. He's going to come across, head out, and there's the pass from Johnson. 1, 2. Here comes Newbill, 3, and there goes the ball, but he's out of bounds.
Well, it was Rick Newbill that coughed it up, but it went out of bounds. Demetrius Davis, we all know about him. If we've seen him against London in the regular season, we know what he can do. But he's dropped one in the end zone tonight. I wonder if that will come back to haunt him. The give is to Lindsey Chapman, who gets over the 45 down to around the 43. Billy Lofton and Gerald Nichols combining on the stop. It's Big Billy. He's improved as the season's gone on. Pickup of around 3.
And he hasn't done much blocking lately, but the block on the kickoff return may be the biggest one he's had in years.
Paul Justin has just thrown a touchdown pass for the Galaxy. It's 14-7 there in the all-German battle. Here it's 14-6 in favor of London. Walker on second down goes over the middle once again. They went after Eric Stevens and Tyree Davis. Got a step ahead of him for a first down. The Dragons looking to respond.
And Jay Walker, he looked to the right, but the 2 receivers on the right had gotten their paths crossed up, so he turned left and then just unloaded that ball into double coverage. Look at the time he gets to throw, and then Walker just lets it go, threaded the needle perfectly on that completion.
First down at the 27 of the Monarchs. The Dragons looking to hit back. They go outside once again. Tyree Davis got himself open and went out of bounds. Another first down. That'll keep the chains moving.
And again, one thing you've got to like about Jay Walker is the way he adjusts the ball to the kind of pass he's throwing. He zipped the last one in. Now this has a lot of stuff on it too, but it's perfectly thrown to lead Tyree Davis to the sideline. Davis makes the catch, steps out of bounds, gets the first down, no problem.
5 touchdowns on the year for Davis. That's a World League #1. Walker has completed 8 of 11, over 100 yards. This time they keep it on the ground to Lindsey Chapman, who breaks tackles and stays on his feet and gets inside the 10. Good second effort from Chapman.
And they're getting the hole at the line of scrimmage, but like last week, London's defensive backs are coming up quickly. The difference is this week they're not connecting on the tackles.
Well, London's defense has been on the field a long time in this game as the seconds tick away in the first quarter. And Walker is getting a lot of time to pass. At the moment, that offensive line of the Dragons doing its job. Second down. Walker puts it upstairs, looks for Mario Henry, who's got it. The ball was jarred out by Carlton Lance, and they're ruling it an incomplete incompletion. Great play from Lance, otherwise that was a touchdown.
And let's take a look at the catch, because once he's got possession, he's in the end zone, the play's dead. Walker floats it up again. Now there's the catch. He comes down and then gets hit. So did he have possession before he got hit or not? Referee right there says no.
A decision that's been greeted with jeers and catcalls, and it brings up a third down. Walker flushed out, in trouble. Oh, Horace Morris is after him, but he can't get him, and he completes his pass. Horace Morris did a great job there of pressuring Walker, and it looks like they've held firm again.
And the Monarchs guessing pass, they came back up hard. Good job just to get the pass away and get back to the line of scrimmage, because it keeps them in field goal range.
And that is the final act of a dramatic first quarter. We'll be back for the field goal attempt after this.
Competition that you have in the game, and that's what attracted me to the game. You have to be physical, you have to have great athletic ability, and you have to know what you're doing. There's a mental aspect of the game that's so very important to you. But I think that this, more than anything else, has attracted me to football more so than other sports.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Now that you've given her away, you'll always cherish the memories. You'll always remember the joy. And you'll never forget the bill.
$220 for parsley?
But hey, isn't that why you got Visa Gold in the first place? With all the purchase power to handle any occasion. Even the most precious. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
The imagination of Tim Burton comes the incredible true story.
Action!
How do you turn this on?
Shake his legs around. Looks like he's killing you. We're making another movie. I got the Church of Beverly Hills to put up the cash. Grave robbers from outer space.
Grave robbers from what?
Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette, and Bill Murray.
How do you get all your friends to get baptized just so you can make a monster movie?
Ed Wood, playing on DirecTV.
An explosive first quarter here in Barcelona. The Monarchs leading at 14-6. Scott Zarady, though, will attempt another field goal, this a 28-yarder, to reduce the deficit to 5 points, and Zarady lethal from this range. Kick on its way, no trouble. So Barcelona settle for 3, but a lot of these fans, and I'm sure Jack Snell will agree, the London Monarchs got a break there. That should have been a touchdown.
I really think so, Nick, and it's not just because once upon a time I was a pass receiver. When you have possession of the ball in the end zone and your foot comes down in the end zone, it's a touchdown, and whatever happens to you after that makes no. Now he's got possession and the foot's down, so if he's hit afterwards, that doesn't matter.
I tell you, it's a smart play from Carlton Lance there to go in and lower the boom.
Defender, that's what you've got to do. You've got to finish the play out, and if the referee decides it's an incompletion, then it's gone in your favor. But
you're right, Mike, that is a touchdown. 8 plays, 60 yards. I tell you, in terms of time of possession, this has been a wipeout. Barcelona in that first quarter held the ball for over 12 minutes. London had it for less than 3.
And London's defense, as you said earlier, they've been on the field a long time, but each time Barcelona's gotten into the red zone inside the 20-yard line, they've held firm, and that's the important thing.
They've held firm when they've had to, but they're getting an awful lot of time. Barcelona's defense, very fresh in contrast. 3 drives for the Dragons, and they have come up with points every time.
Now they need to stop London.
Well, we've already seen one kick return for a touchdown. What will this one bring? Ronnie West picks it it up and around his 12. They fake to Stevens. No, they don't. They pretend to fake to Stevens. They out-faked everybody there, but Barcelona stayed at home. Stevens cutting across.
You were right both times, Dick. They pretended to fake it and they faked to Stevens.
That's hedging my bets.
That's right. They faked to Stevens, and it almost worked because Ronnie West broke a tackle and was through.
After this, the Barcelona Dragons hit the road. They go to Scotland, they go to Germany to take on the Rhine Fire, and they finish up here against Frankfurt. What a game that could be. London, after this, they entertain the Rhine Fire at 3 o'clock on Bank Holiday Monday next week. Make sure you're at that one if you can get there. Completed pass. Todd Farrell, number 27, coming up and making the stop on Tony Brooks. Only 2 or 3 there for Brooks.
And the Dragons really rejigging their defensive backfield. Johnson with a good look, sees Tony Brooks there, and Farrell's got to make this stop. The big guy out of Boston University, not a very experienced defensive back. He spent most of his college career playing running back at BU.
Second down and long. The pitch back is to Brooks, who gets past Kevin O'Brien and gets into the secondary and close to first down yardage.
And now with a little bit of a lead, what London can do is sit down and try to establish that running game again, which will then open up the passing game.
Well, Tony Brooks really starting to turn it on. Last time against Barcelona, over 100 yards. And talking to 1 or 2 of his former Notre Dame teammates, people like Nick Smith and Dean Lytle, they say this fella's got his confidence back. He's rushing like the Tony Brooks of old.
Exactly. It's not the Tony Brooks who spent his NFL career injured and trying to rehab his knee. He really does look like he's got that spark back.
Third down and short, they give to Brooks, who only has to get to the 40-yard line. He seems to have got past that comfortably. Victor Hall in on the tackle, but Brooks brings up another London first down.
And there was a late flag on the other side of the field.
Well, Barcelona maybe need all the help they can get here. Well, that's possibly stretching it a little bit. There is a flag down. No flag. It's a first down. There was no flag. Somebody dropped it.
I think they were just checking out the cheerleaders, and now they're going up into the stands.
Well, a tough start for Barcelona. A real flyer for the London Monarchs. Ahead by 5. And with the ball, first down. Once again, Brooks gets it. Gets through into the secondary again. Will pick up around 4 yards before he staffed Sean Thomas. Came up and made the tackle, along with some help from Tommy Thigpen.
And it's important for the Monarchs to give their defense a rest at this point. Their defense was out there for over 12 minutes in the first quarter. So now they get a bit of a break.
And I tell you, the whole of that starting defense is sat on the bench. There's nobody standing up and pacing up and down. They're all taking a breather. Second down for the London Monarchs. Cutting inside is Phil Bryant, who spins past one tackle. Chris Crooms, the free safety, number 25, was the first man there. Bryant very close to the first down marker.
And a nice second effort by Phil Bryant. The spin got him forward.
And they're marking it just short, but it's going to be third and less than a yard at midfield for the London Monarchs.
Jerry Anderson's in as a second tight end, going with their power lineup.
Number 87, Anderson, lined up to the right, bottom of the screen. Out of the eye, they give to Victor Ebubadipe, who crackles forward for around 4 yards. Eric Lindstrom coming up and making the stop. Good to see Victor getting trusted with the ball again after that fumble against Amsterdam 4 weeks ago.
And it's about time for Victor to break back into the yardage. Nice play by London all around as they ran the ball through the seam in that 3-4 defense.
So, London's offense establishing a useful little drive here. Johnson drops back, fires, he gets Mike Titley, who is nailed at the 40-yard line. Chris Crooms, number 25, came up with some help from Ken Alexander, but Titley hung on.
And as we said, Chris Crooms, who was the free safety for this team, has now moved to strong safety because of the injury to Mike Middleton, and you know the Monarchs are going to test him.
Well, Chris Crooms has had a good season so far. 5 interceptions, including a couple versus Scotland. But you mentioned Mike Middleton out injured, one of the premier defensive backs in the World League. We'll talk about that in a minute. 2nd and 5. Johnson flares out and it's broken up Tracy Smith, the man who was burned for the touchdown.
And Tracy Smith saw that one coming and had a lot of running room if he'd gotten in front and gotten his hands on the ball. Johnson drops back, looks over to the right, and Smith reads the look, gets his hand on the ball. If it's a little bit lower, Smith's gone for 6.
Johnson's first incompletion of the night, of the afternoon, or evening rather. 4 of 5 for 75 and a touchdown. But Mike Middleton out for Barcelona, and that's going to hurt them.
It definitely does, because they really haven't found the way, with Crooms not at the free safety, their cornerbacks don't get the help they were getting when he was playing free.
3rd and 5, they fire, it's a first down if, depending on where they mark it, Chris Crooms was in on the tackle, but Mike Titley knew where the first down marker was and should have it.
And Johnson gets a lot of time to throw, which is one of the reasons he can spot Titley. And you'll see Titley come into the screen on your right. He's got the first down there, and then Crooms just wrestles him down.
But a smart play once again from Mike Titley. He got the first down.
Now watch the time he gets to throw. Chris Lundberg pushing the defensive end out and grabbing his helmet at the same time. He got away with that one.
Brooks gets the call, cuts inside, picks up around 7 or 8 into the secondary once again. Ken Alexander coming back from linebacker along with some help from Sean Thomas, the defensive back. But this looks good from the London Monarchs. Second down and short. The Monarchs ahead by 5, second quarter. Johnson gives once again to Phil Bryant, who looks to turn the corner, gets a block out there and picks up the first down and more. Chris Crooms coming over from free safety and making the tackle.
And Bryant does a nice job of reading the hole. He's coming up the middle, it's not there, so he breaks outside. Now he gets the step, he doesn't have the corner, but when Crooms comes up, he just drags Crooms along, and then the other defensive backs turning around to make the stop.
I tell you, Phil Bryant is fired up tonight. Real gutsy run, takes the ball to the 20, first down. Johnson pump fakes, looks the other way, pressure coming. Mike Moody with a great block, and he just dumps it off to Tony Brooks once again, and that picks up close to first down yardage. Great block there from Moody.
And Moody's block gave Johnson the time to throw, which in turn gave Brooks the time to get to the first down marker. But take a look at the pass rush. It's the same kind of play that worked on the touchdown, but the receiver's covered this time. He fakes to the right, then rolls, and there's Brooks coming open. Lots of time to see him, and Chris Crooms again in on the tackle.
Second and around 2 for the London Monarchs. Moving it closer. The give is to Victor once again, who crashes past the 10-yard line, which is where he needed to go. Ken Alexander on the stop, but Victor picks up his second first down of the game.
And Victor doing a good job of letting his momentum carry him forward and protecting the ball as he went.
Well, look at that. We're still 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and these two teams have racked up nearly 300 yards of offense, plus there's a 90-yard kickoff return in there as well. Phenomenal stuff here. Victor gets the call once again, bounces off one tackle, almost kept his feet, picks up around 3 yards, but Victor had a sight of the end zone there for one split second.
There was some room for Victor. Someone got him by the feet as he cut down. It's nice to see them using him in the goal line situation.
It's good to see that Bobby Hammond has decided that he's served his penance for that costly fumble against Amsterdam. And he's back in the rotation now, and he's in there in place of Tony Brooks. Phil Bryant in there with him. Johnson rolls out to his right, cuts and looks back the other way and runs into trouble, gets rid of it. The Barcelona Dragons pressure came there. 3 guys all over him.
Good coverage downfield by the Dragons' backs, which kept Johnson from having anybody to throw to. He had a good look all around the field and then did a nice job of unloading the ball safely to get the incompletion.
Well, Johnson keeping cool under pressure, and there was pressure coming. Keith Traylor, number 75, along with Eric Lindstrom, number 50, one of the 2 original Dragons on this team. Both converged on him as he got rid of it. Third down. Johnson takes a deep drop. Titley splits wide. He's got Titley, and the ball is broken up by Tracy Smith, who gave up one touchdown but may have saved another there.
And Mike Titley wasn't expecting the tackle from that side. He was open, Johnson looks around and sees Titley open coming in. You see Johnson, he's taking a look. He sees Titley moving across the field and follows him. It's a good lead pass, and Titley isn't expecting to be hit right on the ball. And the ball comes loose for an incompletion, but London, good position for the field goal.
Don Silvestri will attempt a 24-yarder. Had a couple blocked last week. This one sails through the uprights. So the London Monarchs extend their lead with 7:04 remaining in the first half. It's Barcelona 9, the London Monarchs 17.
The day that I stop getting nervous or anxious before a football game is the day that I'm going to hang them up, because in this business, when you start taking things in stride, there's somebody that's going to be out there that maybe gets a little more nervous or a little more anxious or have more anxieties, and they're going to beat you.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough. Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
June 2nd on Direct Ticket, the Conquistadores arrive. Miguel Angel Gonzalez defends his title for the 8th time. 21-year-old champion Alejandro Gonzalez makes his East Coast debut. Undefeated Marco Antonio Barrera makes his first title defense. Hector Acero Sanchez faces #1 contender Daniel Zaragoza. Los Conquistadores, Friday, June 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101 for only $19.95, live on Direct Ticket.
Terrence Wisdom getting some attention on the sidelines. An impressive drive that though, Mike.
And it's what they needed to do. He said it keeps their defense off the field, gives them a break, and it establishes a lot of their offensive weapons. They got the run game going, and if Terrence Wisdom's shoulder is hurt badly, which it looks like they're trying to push it back in, then that could hurt their running game.
Silvestri with a squib kick that rolls along the ground and is fielded by Shelby Hill at the 20. Hill cuts back one way, gets past A.J. Jenkins, doesn't get past Horace Morris, and he'll be down at around the 26-yard line. Well, this is week 7. There's plenty of action next week as well. The Claymores host the Barcelona Dragons. Frankfurt entertain Amsterdam. Ernie Stortner is really smacking his chops over that one. And the London Monarchs on Bank Holiday Monday entertain the Rhine Fire at 3 o'clock.
And the great thing is, depending on what the results of today's games are, 2 or 3, even 3 of those games could still be very important games.
Absolutely right. Tony Saka comes in at quarterback. He's been inactive all season until Casey Weldon went home. Jack Bicknell likes him. From Penn State, was a big, strong guy with lots of leadership. Saka drops, gets lots of time. He's got a man as well. Demetrius Davis picks up first down yardage. He's tripped up by Carlton Lance, but he did his job once again. It's what he does so well.
And Demetrius Davis got a nice block downfield from Andy McCollum, the center. But watch Saka. He's got this funny little sidearm kind of delivery, but he gets the ball there quickly. And now watch the block that Demetrius Davis picks up right there from Andy McCollum. Nice block. And a good saving tackle from Carlton Lance.
You know, we were talking to Jack McNell about Demetrius, and he just said, we let him run his own routes. He runs 9 yards and then gets open. That's his brief, just get open, and he was open there. Tyree Davis is split wide to the right. Saka takes a deep drop, fires up the middle. He had Demetrius Davis, who's dropped his second catchable ball of the game.
And that was a case of starting to turn upfield and look for running room before the ball's actually in your hands for Demetrius Davis.
But he was open again.
He was open again, and he said he's got that theory, which I really like, is as long as his body's between the receiver, the defender, and the ball, he'll catch it.
And Tony Saka knows that.
Right, and so they can throw it in there, even if it looks like he's covered.
Second down and 10. They give to Lindsey Chapman, who doesn't fool anybody and is nailed 3 yards short of the line of scrimmage. Gerald Nichols in on that tackle. Herman Smith there as well. Herman Smith playing fired-up football this evening.
Herman Smith, he knows that they're going to try to run at the ends because London's defensive ends are all relatively small and good pass rushers, so they see a lot of blocking designed to bring runners at them, and Herman Smith's doing a job standing those blockers up.
Second quarter in Amsterdam. It's 13-6 in favor of Scotland. What a shock that would be. Third down and long here in Barcelona. Saka drops. Carlton Lance tries to nail him but can't quite get there, but perhaps did just enough to break up the pattern. Carlton Lance came through unblocked.
That's what you'd call a hurry there, because Saka took the deep drop anyway and had the receiver, but just had to rush the pass a little. Watch the pressure coming on Saka. Carlton Lance is there, and Saka just hit just as he lets go of the ball, and it just missed because he had a receiver deep.
Scott Zarady, whose punting is not his strength, will kick it away. He's 5th in the World League in punting, just 31 yards on average. Robert Jackson is back deep, and another shallow kick from Zarady. Takes a nice Barcelona hop and goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line. No chance of a return there.
And it's funny watching Zarady kick because it looks like he just wants to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible.
Here's a guy that is a place kicker first and a punter dead last. His kicking has been phenomenal. He leads the World League by a mile. Kevin McDougall will take over at quarterback for the London Monarchs for the second quarter. Saka getting his turn, and Kevin McDougall coming in for the London Monarchs, a former Notre Dame player.
Got a lot of those in this game.
With Tony Brooks in the backfield as well. That's 2 Notre Dame players right there, and a couple on defense for the Monarchs. The call is to Phil Bryant. He got a great block from Victor Abubadike and skips his way close to first down yardage. Sean Thomas coming in and making the stop.
And London's offensive line fired out on that one, and 5 yards downfield before Bryant even found anybody to meet him.
Here's a guy that always gives it 100%. Dave Hoffman can barely walk at the end of a game. No shortage of commitment from him. 9 yards on the carry from Phil Bryant. Second down. Victor plows his way forwards once again. Looks like Victor's being used as the short yardage man. 3 carries and 3 first downs.
And that's impressive stuff. And once again, London is establishing a drive down the field, and they're going to eat up time on the clock. They're going to rest their defense, and they're going to possibly put Barcelona deeper in the hole.
The marks of battle showing on the upper arm there of Gerald Nichols, the defensive tackle, the 9-year NFL veteran. It's a first down for the London Monarchs. Johnson gives to Abubadike again, who picks up around 5 yards. All these London running backs really picking up the slack here.
And you could see London's line just stand Barcelona's defensive line right up on that play and then fire out to get Abubadike the extra yards as he moved through.
So less than 4 minutes remaining in what's been an eventful first half. The London Monarchs ahead by 8 in a game both teams know they have to win. Second down and 5. The Monarchs looking for more. McDougall gives it to Phil Bryant, who fools no one and is dropped for a loss.
Kevin O'Brien, the outside linebacker, was lined up on Mike Titley and stunted in. Lined up, he came right in on the ball carrier. He'll be on the left of your screen on the tight end, and you see O'Brien come right in, beats the double team, and stands the runner right up. Nice play.
A loss of a yard on the play for the London Monarchs. Third down. McDougall takes a drop, looks for Mike Titley, who looks like he may have been short of the first down marker there. Ken Alexander coming up and making a stop, but this one will depend on the spot of the ball. Titley may not have got this one. It'll be close.
And he would have been over, but he had to fight for possession of the ball. Did a great job just to keep the ball, and that may have brought him up just a little bit short. You see McDougall looking in, and now Titley's got the first down probably there. He has to fight to keep the ball, and he couldn't get the ball forward.
The chains are coming out. Has Mike Titley done it once again for the London Monarchs? A fellow who always knows where the first down marker is. This one's going to be very close, and where they've spotted it, it may just be enough. It's so close. It's a first down. He's done it again.
And just what the Monarchs needed at that point. key first down now. They've got some space to maneuver.
Look at all those offensive plays, and what an offensive evening it's been. We're way over 300 yards total offense, and we still have nearly 3 minutes of the first half to go. McDougall gives to Bryant, who doesn't pick up an awful lot. Kevin O'Brien stayed at home, got some help from Victor Hall.
And once again, it was the outside linebacker for Barcelona who came stunting in, who managed to stop that play. Joe Johnson, 54, came into the backfield. That forced Bryant inside where the tackle could make the play.
A pickup of around 2 yards on the play. Terrence Wisdom staying in the game, number 68 there. The fellow who was shaken up on the last series. Flag comes down. Abubadike gets the carry, got a big hole into the backfield, and he fumbles the ball, and it looks like the Dragons have recovered it. Eric Turner's got it, but there is a flag.
The back judge was indicating that he was down before he fumbled, and they're spotting the ball where Victor went down and signaling first down. The question is, what's the flag? And I think Kevin O'Brien might have stepped offside.
Well, if he did, they'll decline it. But that would have had Bobby Hammond's heart in his mouth for a minute there.
Number 91, the penalty is declined. First down. 2-minute warning.
Victor got a break there, his biggest run of the season.
Kevin O'Brien's on the left side of the line. He didn't see him offside there, but the flag was thrown in. Victor cuts back. He's got great blocking. Phil Bryant threw a good one. And you see, he did a whole roll before the ball came loose.
So it's a first down for the London Monarchs, leading 17-9. We'll be back after this.
I think everybody now acknowledges the fact that Jerry Rice does so many things. He catches the ball, he can get deep, he catches the ball short, he can break tackles, he can run away from tacklers, he can get the ball into the end zone. He makes the big play in the big game.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
You have 21.
Richard Goodwin is about to investigate.
He thinks 21 is rigged.
Is it?
A world he's always envied.
Gonna put television on trial.
It's the case that could make his career.
You telling me everybody got the answers but you?
And destroy a remarkable man.
I can't decide if you think too much of me or too little.
From Oscar-winning director Robert Redford.
If someone offered you all this money, would you do it?
I'm going to have to ask for your answer.
Quiz show playing on DirecTV.
The Barcelona sideline, not a happy place to be at all. Jack Bicknell pacing up and down like a caged bear.
And his defense hasn't been able to stop London yet.
It's a first down once again. 2 minutes remaining, first half. London ahead and looking for more. McDougall fakes the handoff. Got some running room here and picks up only a couple. Great job by Chris Crooms staying at home.
Exactly, because Crooms read that play. McDougall had a lot of space if Crooms doesn't come up and make the stop. Kevin McDougall, a really good runner.
Both teams said they had to establish the run. Both of them have done a pretty good job of that. London's stat very important considering the importance of Brooks to this team. He looks healthy.
Yeah, and Brooks looks healthy, and the best thing is Phil Bryant and Victor Abubadike are both gaining yardage, which means London's offensive line is doing the job.
Kevin McDougall knows how to scramble. Was a good scrambler at Notre Dame. He can gain yardage on the ground for you as well. Just a couple there. Tony Brooks doesn't get much there. Ken Alexander stayed with him, maybe a couple.
And a nice job in the pits by Chucky Johnson and Byron Bonds. In that 3-4 defense, what you want from your linemen, they're almost like blockers. They want to hold the offensive line up and leave things free for the linebackers to come in and make the tackles, which is exactly what Ken Alexander did.
Well, third down coming up here for London, who've been pretty efficient. Mike Titley, I think, picked up a couple of those. Barcelona just 1 for 5. But this, a big third down, and they come after him, but he's got his man again, and it's another first down. Or is it a fumble? Titley's fumbled it. And have the Dragons recovered, or was it a dead play?
And the referee, who just got knocked down, is signaling that it wasn't a fumble and the ball was dead. The Dragons are saying Titley fumbled as he came down after the catch, which is what it looked like from up here.
It's a London ball. They've had every break going for them this first half.
And here you see Titley crossing over the middle. He's got the ball and he's running. There's the tackle from Crooms. He's met low, and the ball comes out before he's down on the ground. Definitely a fumble.
2 lucky breaks. There was the touchdown called back against Barcelona, and now that fumble. It doesn't count. Bobby Hammond leading a charmed life first half.
And now what London does is take advantage of that. You come in, you pump the ball right back down the middle. You run it at them because your offensive line is starting to move their defensive line off the ball.
Well, they're just about in Don Silvestri's field goal range here. They'd like to get it a bit closer if they could. This would be a 49-yard kick. They give to Brooks, who's got some running room, gets inside the 25, down to around the 22, and that's where they take a timeout. Chris Crooms on the tackle, 15 seconds left. They're well in field goal range now.
And what we said about taking the ball down the middle, and Terrence Wisdom's shoulder is popped out again. Well, watch the blocking that they get there in the middle of the line. They just run it right down their throats. And you see the linebacker come up, and Terrence Wisdom takes Alexander right out of the play, leaves a big hole for Brooks, and he's in the defensive backfield, and London have good position for the field goal.
15 seconds remaining. Now, London, though, can't stop the clock. That was their 3rd timeout. So would you kick the field goal here, or would you try one more play?
Well, I'd try one more play, but I'd say to Kevin McDougal, if you don't have the touchdown, throw the ball away.
You've got to get rid of it and stop the clock. A running play here would be hopeless, would keep the clock going.
You send your receivers in the end zone, you try to have them running on the outs, and if you don't have it, just toss the ball into the stands.
It's a 40-yard kick from here if Silvestri comes on. He kicked a 52-yarder against Scotland for the World League's first 4-point field goal. But it looks like they're going to go for one more play here. 15 seconds left. The Monarchs are ahead by 8 in a dramatic first half. Is there another twist here? McDougal drops, lots of time, puts it upstairs, looks for Ronnie West, and the pass was overthrown. West drew coverage. And Larry Wallace, in fact, number 84, the man he was looking for, and that brings out Don Silvestri.
And Kevin McDougal did exactly the right thing. West was open for a minute, but by the time the ball got there, he's double covered, and McDougal was throwing it over him. No chance of an interception, and still the shot at the field goal.
Don Silvestri has converted one already. He's 7 for 10 on the year. Had a couple blocked.
And of course, Mike Middleton was the league's top kick blocker, but he's out for the Dragons now.
They got some pressure, but the kick is up and it's good. So the London Monarchs have extended their lead with just 5 seconds left. First half. It's the Barcelona Dragons 9, the London Monarchs 20.
And that's a big kick from Silvestri, because now the touchdown and the 2-point conversion can't tie the game. And London get the points just before halftime. They go in on another up. It's been a great half for the London Monarchs.
Talking to Don Silvestri yesterday, he had a couple blocked last week. They said that they've moved some people around on the line to try and plug the hole, and it seems to work for them. But this fella is not having a very pleasant evening at all.
And Jack McNeil, you can see, he doesn't look happy. His team's not doing the things they want to do. They've turned the ball over.
I'm telling you, this is embarrassing.
You can just see the frustration in his face. Well, he's arguing about the fumble call, I'm sure.
There's a fumble call gone against him. He's had a touchdown ball back. 14 plays, 60 yards, another impressive drive. 5 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock.
And of course, the Monarchs 2-1 on the road this season, 0-3 at home. This is a road team.
Certainly is. Lindsey Chapman is back deep for the Barcelona Dragons, but with 5 seconds left, he'll have to do something stunning. Silvestri, a low kick, takes a hop and goes just flagged down. That hopped out of bounds at around the 1-yard line. It was close to perfection from Don Silvestri.
You're not going to return that. And that's all John Silvestri wanted. So what it is Barcelona gets the ball automatically at the 40, but that means they don't get a chance to return. They can only try one big play. And of course, last week again against Amsterdam, they tried to go for the big play with 1 play left in the half, and it turned out to be costly because it was intercepted and returned.
It was the Amsterdam big play instead of the Barcelona big play. That was another game of huge plays. And the Dragons up against it here. They've lost their last two. Real heartbreak losses, both of them. But this one, London came out first quarter and have simply blown them away.
And London is in the prevent defense plus. Everybody's 20 yards back.
Saka, there's a flag down. They've given it to Lindsay Chapman, who they'll give him a lot of running room because we're out of time. But there is a flag down in the backfield. And Jack storms out onto the field. It's gone once again against the Dragons.
Holding on the offense, number 64. The penalty is refused. That is the end of the half.
Ed King, the guard, assessed. Jack Bicknell is going to have something to say here. But it's been an impressive first half for the Monarchs. They lead it 20-9.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
When you get into this profession, this coaching profession, you dream of someday being able to lead your team out to play a Super Bowl. Now, all of a sudden, it's there. You have that opportunity. It's really, it's a feeling that you can't describe. It's just such a feeling of contentment.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Sam used every wall in the house for a backboard.
Yeah, he looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me. That's my boy! He can do that maneuvering and get by. I like to see Kenny when he steals it. He can steal a ball. Ow! 58 feet out. Swish. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him. Kenny would get it. Guess he got it from his mother.
Every night is Fright Night with the thrillers playing on Direct Ticket. From a world far away, a terrifying force has begun an unspeakable invasion.
We've lost a town, now we've lost an army.
And only one man can stop.
Get it off him! Get it off!
The Puppet Masters. In a town where nothing is what it seems. Just because Freddy's gone doesn't mean the terror has come to an end.
Miss me.
Evil is alive and well in Wes Craven's new nightmare. So catch your breath and catch the thrills this month on Direct Ticket.
An explosive offensive performance from both teams, close to 400 yards total offense, and the net result is the London Monarchs are ahead by 11 points, but this one far from over.
Oh, you've got to think that, and Jack Bicknell was steaming as he went into the locker room at halftime. He thinks he should have had that touchdown. He's still joined with the referees at this point.
But this could be a big quarter for Jack Bicknell. His team does pretty well in the third quarter, and I think it's fair to say that London Monarchs in the third quarter simply don't mix at all. This is a very important quarter for both teams.
And it's really important here that the Dragons don't get all frustrated by those kind of mistakes and blaming it. All they really lost, they lost 4 points on the touchdown, and they probably gave the Monarchs 3 by not getting that call on Mike Titley.
Well, look at those numbers. They balanced out in terms of time of possession, but all that offensive fireworks. And the key men for the London Monarchs, Tony Brooks with 10 carries, Mike Titley 5 catches, Demetrius Davis had 3 for Barcelona, Walker completed 9 of 13. All the offensive fireworks that you could want.
The offenses are moving, and any time someone gets stopped in this game, it's going to be a big thing. Look at those first downs.
Wow.
And no turnovers.
No official turnovers.
No official turnovers.
Yeah, Jack Bicknell, we do think has every right to be unhappy, but as you say, they've got to put it behind them. Now, Ronnie West is back deep to handle the kickoff, along with Eric Stevens. Stevens already has scored that touchdown. A 90-yarder. Brad Johnson quietly effective in the first quarter. 6 of 9 for 87 and 1 touchdown. That, the 58-yarder to Alan Allen. Scott Serradi will get us underway. So here in Barcelona, the Monarchs are ahead. The ball just falls off the tee, fooling everybody. The Monarchs are ahead by 11, but...
And we've seen a lot of balls falling off tees, off those flat tees that they use, even though there isn't much wind down there.
That one waited for Scott Serrady to get there as well. Fell off at the last possible second. Why is it that the Monarchs struggle in the third quarter, Mike? Do you have any theories as to
well, we asked Bobby
is?
Hammond that last week as to what his approach was in the side, and he really didn't have an explanation himself. He doesn't try to fire the team up. They go over technical points, but they've basically done that already. I think mostly it's a question of your reestablishing your concentration, and they've so very rarely come into that third quarter off a good second quarter.
And Barcelona are strong traditionally in the third quarter. We're underway at last. It's going in Ronnie West's direction, but takes a hop out of bounds. So the flag comes down, so the Monarchs will straight away take over in pretty good field position if they accept the penalty. Barcelona, well, we said they're hot in the third quarter. They're outscoring their opponents 39-9. Jack Bicknell will take another 10-point swing in this quarter. London, awful in the third quarter. There's no point in mincing words about it. They get completely outgunned, something like 62-10.
And we saw Frankfurt do it on Monday night in London. Now, so this becomes a big set of downs for the London Monarchs right here. Can Brad Johnson come out and reestablish the offense they had in that first half?
Well, they've got the field position. They take over at the 40. Motion comes from Bryant. The give is to Victor Ebubadike, who crosses the line of scrimmage but doesn't get a lot, maybe a yard. Keith Traylor was there, along with Tommy Thigpen. Eric Lindstrom in on the tackle as well.
And Lindstrom, Thigpen, O'Brien, the linebackers did a great job of reacting to Ritter, the pulling guard, who was trying to lead him through the hole. They filled that hole and stopped it for very little gain.
Second down and long for the London Monarchs. And once again, they keep it on the ground. Phil Bryant looking to turn the corner. Pushed out of bounds after a pickup of a couple. Juan Long, number 59, making the stop. We haven't seen much of Juan Long tonight.
No, he's been quiet tonight. They had Eric Lindstrom, the outside linebacker, again reading it out in front of Terrence Wisdom, so Wisdom never could catch up to make that block and kick him out of the way.
Phil Bryant just getting back to the original line of scrimmage, brings up third down and long. Wallace and Allen are the wide receivers. Allen at the top of your screen, Wallace at the bottom. A big third down, and Barcelona come after Johnson. But he's got Tony Brooks out of the backfield, who may just have dived for the first down, depending on where they spot the ball. Eric Turner came up from the cornerback position to make the tackle.
A nice heady play by Brooks, and now what you mentioned, Juan Long, he's coming on this. They're thinking pass all the way. 59, Juan Long up the middle. Good job by Ritter of picking him up. Kevin O'Brien doesn't get past the tackle. Moody. So Johnson has time to find Brooks, who's a secondary receiver on that play. See Moody there, knocks O'Brien backwards, and Johnson has time to look for not the primary receiver, not his first target, but the secondary receiver, who's Brooks, who does a good job of getting over the first down, or didn't, sorry, it's 4th and short.
Eric Turner did enough to stop, so London stopped on their first possession. High snap, Fexico handles it, takes his time, gets off an end-over-end kick that Tyree Davis will leave, and it's downed at around the 2-yard line. So a great punt from Sonny Fexico.
And sometimes people ask, well, on 4th and short, why don't you go for it like that? And that's the reason why. Sonny Fexico coffin cornered that. He put it right into the corner, and now Barcelona have to start with their backs to the wall.
And Jason Orton, the man who downed at number 25, getting down there. Sonny Fexico has got better and better as this season has progressed. He was terrible first couple of games, but has really settled.
He said he got out of his rhythm at one point. He's gotten back into it. Now that may well be the best punt he's had all season.
So Barcelona with a long way to go, but they have stopped London on their first possession, and Jay Walker, whose numbers are pretty good from the first half, is back at quarterback with 3 wide receivers. Johnson drops into his own end zone and goes upstairs straight away and overthrows his man. There was coverage there, and Tyree Davis just couldn't get a hold of the ball.
And with the pass rushers that the Monarchs have, your heart's in your throat when you see Jay Walker drop back into his own end zone to throw deep.
Kenny McIntyre had the coverage on Davis, but that's simply an overthrown ball from Walker, who has a cannon for an arm.
Left side.
And we've got ankles being worked on. Looks like Tony Brooks's. Not that I recognize Tony Brooks's ankle necessarily.
I was going to ask. Second down and long. Walker back in the end zone again. Dave Hoffman had perfect coverage on Demetrius Davis. They are playing Davis tight.
And when you can get the linebacker right on him there, Walker zips the ball past Davis.
But look at that improvement over the last 3 games as compared with the first 3. This fella took time to find his World League feet, but the fella that's in from the New England Patriots has put up some pretty good numbers since the first 3 games.
Really a question of experience and just getting comfortable being the team leader.
Now it's Barcelona with a big third down, early third quarter. Walker drops, fires, it's too high. He was looking for Tyree Davis again, and that just not a catchable ball, and Jay Walker knows it.
And this is bad for Barcelona because now they have to kick out of their end zone, and London could win this battle. The punts come out with much better field position than when Sonny Fexico punted.
Especially with Scott Zarady punting.
Exactly.
Punting not his strength, and he's going to be punting from right at the back of his end zone. This a pressure situation for the Barcelona punter, Scott Zarady. Nothing wrong with the snap. Zarady gets it off. Robert Jackson is back deep and will field if he gets it and goes out of bounds at around the 44-yard line of the Barcelona Dragons. So the London Monarchs will have great position, field position. They lead it 20-9. We'll be back after this.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 World League season. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David, a touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
I think the initial hit is still pretty much coached the same way, in that you have to approach him facing the numbers and then wrap him up, and then if he slides one way or the other, it becomes an arm tackle. But you're also taught to get in there and to try to strip the ball carrier of the football. And I think defensive coaches are stressing that more and more.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Take a deep breath. Count to 10. And get ready.
What is going on here?
To take the fall. Charlie Sheen.
Are you out of your mind? Yes! Yes, I am!
Nastasha Kinski.
How do you stop this thing?
Terminal Velocity.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket.
Concentration and intensity on the face of Monarchs head coach Bobby Hammond, a man who knows that his team's season is on the line, and so far they've responded well. They lead by 11. They have the ball. 12:44 left, third quarter. Motion from Wallace. The give is to Abubadike, who tries to spin back inside and may pick up 3 yards with Victor Hall in close attendance, number 98.
A little pushing and shoving going on between Chucky Johnson, 99, and Mike Moody, 73, after the play. Good blocking by the center, Damon Baldwin, who was one-on-one on the nose tackle, Myron Bonds, and just sort of pushed him a little bit to the right so that Victor Abubadike could head left.
3 yards for Abubadike. Fake this time. Johnson gets pressure. Lindstrom was after him. He beat Lindstrom, but he couldn't beat the second man, and Abubadike did well to hang on there. Chucky Johnson and Ken Alexander coming in.
And Johnson just bounced the ball to Victor for the incompletion, get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. But you see, first he looks, and Lindstrom does a nice job of getting in for the initial pressure, and then he turns, doesn't see it, the pressure from behind, but as he's going down, he gets rid of the ball for the incompletion. Smart play by Brad Johnson.
3rd down and 6 for the Monarchs. Johnson is flushed out of the pocket, has some running room, doesn't get the blocks he needs, and is 3 yards short of the 1st down. Juan Long, the inside linebacker, came up and made the stop, so it'll be 1, 2, 3 and out for the London Monarchs once again. And a good reaction by Juan Long, because there was a lot of running room for Brad Johnson. Barcelona was putting heavy pressure on him as blockers pushed the pressure to the outside. He went up the middle. Juan Long reacted quickly to get over, and Sonny Fexico with another chance to bottle Barcelona up in their own end. Well, what a difference in the second half so far to the first half, where it was offense all the way. Fexico punts from around the 50, and they've got the coverage, but they don't quite manage to stop it. Great attempt from Jason Orton, number 25, to cover that ball and down it inside the 5, but he just slipped at the wrong minute. Fexico knows how close it was. Jason Orton was there, and as you said, the slip meant the ball went over his head, but he had it. Terrence Wisdom, I guess the shoulder's okay. Real trench warrior, this fella. But what a difference. 3 offensive series, 3 kicks. Very different from the 400-yard explosion of offense from both sides in the first half. I think a lot of adjustments have been made in the locker rooms. And to be honest, London will be very happy with this, simply because their defense has come out and stopped Barcelona on the first try, which is what they need to do if they're not going to get blown away in the 3rd quarter again. Well, when they last had the ball, Jay Walker threw it long 3 times, 3 incomplete passes. This time he goes downstairs to Ricky Blake. A.J. Jenkins, good pursuit, brought him down, but Blake picked up around 6 yards. And okay, they came out past the first time. Now they're getting back to what they do best, which is run the ball. And watch the blocking on the line, all man for man, and they're taking them one at a time. And Blake with that good drive, breaking the tackle to get the extra yardage. Barcelona lead the league in rushing. 2nd down and 3. They stay downstairs. Blake stays on his feet, gets past the 30-yard line, which is what he needed for the 1st down. He's eventually gang tackled, but it's a 1st down Barcelona, and there is a flag. The inevitable conference. But it's what Barcelona do best, establish the run.
Face mask on the defense, number 21. It's a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Eric Stevens, the man who scored on the 90-yard kickoff return in the 1st quarter. Assessed for an incidental face mask, just a 5-yarder. Had he meant it, in the view of the officials, it would have been 15 yards. And that was Ricky Blake's leg drive that made that work, because he just kept going as he should have been down. The ball has moved to the Dragons' 38-yard line. 1st down. London come after Jay Walker, who has to get it away early, and he's got his man Tyree Davis. Kenny McIntyre on the stop, but a smart pickup from Davis. And you can see Walker knows that the blitz is coming. He's checked off on it, and he knows he has to get rid of the ball quickly. He gets a nice block from Ricky Blake so that he can get rid of it. He almost underthrows it, but it is a completion to Tyree Davis. From the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His colleague Casey Weldon back in Tampa Bay now. Gain of 5. 2nd down and 5. They go back downstairs. Dave Hoffman eventually gets a hold of Ricky Blake. There was a lot of other bodies in there as well. And that'll be short of the 1st down. We'll bring up 3rd down and maybe a couple of yards. And there's a lot just forward. All of Barcelona's line driving forward, and Ricky Blake using his size to push forward as well. Barcelona with a big 3rd down coming up here, and they've struggled in this situation. 1 of 6 in this game so far, but this a big one. They stay on the ground. It's to Blake again, who gets the 1st down and more. Kevin Porter coming up from strong safety, but Blake picks up the 4 yards that he needed. And watch the blocking that he gets on this one. The line fires out. Again, man on man, blocking down, and Blake just looking for the hole and moving straight through. Tackled Chuck Bradley, 76 on the right side. The big block there. The ball spotted at halfway. The fans getting on down. Blake over 50 yards. They fake the handoff this time. Walker rolls out to his right, looks for Demetrius Davis again. Kevin Porter had coverage.
Porter had coverage and Jay Walker had running room. He could have put the ball under his arm and taken it for an easy 10 yards right there.
You see Edward Buck there, the free safety. Edward Buck played against Jay Walker at college, and he said, when you tackle this fella in the open field, you don't like to think about it too much. You respect his size and what he can do. Most quarterbacks, they fall over in an open field, but not Jay Walker.
The play action had fooled the line, but not Kevin Porter, who had Demetrius Davis all the way.
2nd down and 10. Walker with the drop, a lot of time. He's got his man Carlton Lance in on the stop, but Shelby Hill picks up around 8 yards on the play.
And again, Walker had the rush coming. He had to unload the ball quickly, so he went under to Shelby Hill, short of the 1st down.
Mike Titley on the sidelines, taking a well-earned breather. Big evening for him so far. 5 catches in the first half alone, and 3 of them were first downs. 3rd down, they fake the handoff again. Jenkins goes after Walker, who's got his man. Rick Newbill stayed at home and made the stop, but that's a rare sight. Joey Mickey, the blocking tight end, making the catch, and it was a big one.
And Jay Walker, a very dangerous play. Naked bootleg, nobody's blocking for him. It's a nice fake, but as Walker comes right, he's got A.J. Jenkins with him. And as we've said a number of times this season, A.J. Jenkins is very fast, and Walker just trying to push that ball into Joey Mickey, almost didn't get it.
Joey Mickey, only his 6th catch of the season, but it's moved the chains. Barcelona keep the drive alive. They've moved it to London's 37. They stay on the ground. A big hole and an acrobatic spin from Ricky Blake, but there was a hole you could drive a truck through there.
And look from the end zone, you'll see why Jay Walker checked off on this play and called the run. He sees London's only got the 1 linebacker there. So if McCollum can hold Hoffman, Blake's through, and he does that, but a good job coming up by Kevin Porter to make the saving tackle.
Just short of first down yardage, but this is better from Barcelona. This coming up, the 10th play of the drive, and it's 2nd and short. 2 wide receivers split wide right. Shelby Hill is the near man, but they go on the ground. Lindsey Chapman again with a lot of running room, straight into the secondary, met by Kevin Porter, but a great turn of speed. He hit the hole, and it's another first down.
And I think it's Andy McCollum again. They're running behind the center, but watch how quickly Chapman hits the hole. It's the difference between him and Blake. He's just through there before anyone can see what's happened. And you saw Ricky Blake was limping on the sidelines. Lindsey Chapman has to come up big now.
It's another Barcelona first down. 6 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Lindsey Chapman pushing and shoving close to the 15-yard line. Kevin Porter eventually in on the stop, but they're doing it on the ground, and that's where they're happiest.
And the 310 pounds per man in that Barcelona offensive line is firing out, and they're just pushing London's defensive line back each play.
It's quite a 1-2 punch they have in the backfield, the Dragons. If Ricky Blake doesn't get you, Lindsey Chapman will. And remember, Charles Thompson, their number 1 running back, is out of the season with a shoulder problem. Chapman, the lone setback, gets the call once again. Gets stacked up, but still manages to get through the line of scrimmage. Will be close to the first down yardage. Billy Lofton and Rick Newbill on the stop.
And Mo Eloanibi, the right guard, who he said has that torn calf muscle. He can't really fire out too well. He made the big hit. Big initial hit on that play. Chapman went through, but Eloanibi just couldn't fire and make the second hit, which would have had Chapman through for big yardage. Big Mo Eloanibi, 43 starts in the NFL.
Shelby Hill has checked out. Mario Henry has checked in wide right for the Dragons. 3rd and short. They stay on the ground. Chapman with running room. He was just tripped up again by Edward Buck, but there was daylight there.
And the offensive line is just making those holes. Watch the fire out from the side here. Watch the left side of that line. And the drive, they double team the tackle. Chapman's right through before anyone even knows it. And Edward Buck's got to make the save this time. So now it's red zone again, inside the 20. Barcelona 1st and goal inside the 10. They haven't been able to get a touchdown out of this situation in the first half.
It's here that the London defense has held, but it's at the 12. Chapman gets it again, spins one way, goes the other, gets in, touchdown Barcelona. That was impressive.
And that was running. Now Lindsey Chapman has followed his blocking on every play up till now. Now watch what he does. He cuts. He just cuts away. He almost loses his footing, but he's got enough speed to get over. And then look at the stretch to get over that end zone line.
15 plays, 80 yards, just over 7 minutes. There's an injured Monarch down on the field. It's Kenny McIntyre again. He was banged up last week. But that was impressive and capped with a very strong 12-yard run from Lindsey Chapman.
Now watch the left side of the line's blocking down, and Chapman sees that there's not much room, so he cuts outside. Stretches over the line. You can see Kenny McIntyre grabbing that quadricep, which is what he hurt last week against Frankfurt. And that's going to be a bad blow for the London Monarchs.
That could be trouble, and these fans may have more to cheer about. Their Dragons right back in it with the extra point to come. And McIntyre still on his back in the end zone, and this does not look good for the London Monarchs.
Kenny McIntyre's on the left side of your play here. He's going to come up as Buck makes the tackle. There's McIntyre coming up. And you don't really see much contact. It was his left quad that had gone, and you see he's limping on that left leg, so it may just be that he's just aggravated that, taking the bump or even stretching it.
Well, the London Monarchs defense has given up 100 yards plus on the ground so far in the game. Lindsey Chapman has picked up 36 of them. Ricky Blake has 73. And they're going for the two-point conversion. Tyree Davis in motion. Walker drops, looks for Shelby Hill, overthrows him. There was coverage there from Carlton Lance. So the two-point conversion fails, but Barcelona are right back in it. It's 15-20 in favor of London.
Catches a football, and then he has to get both feet down in bounds. It's an art peculiar to the National Football League.
Who was the best at it? Raymond Barry?
Oh, there's no question. You know, Raymond was such a gifted receiver that he spent endless hours practicing this routine of getting he called it the toe dance.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Morrison versus Ruddock, Saturday, June 10th, 10 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101, only $29.95 live on Direct Ticket.
Lindsey Chapman has put the Dragons back within a touchdown of the London Monarchs, just 5 points in it. What a game we've got here at the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona. Ronnie West fields at his 12. They give it to Eric Stevens this time. They faked it earlier, and Stevens gets past one tackler, doesn't get past the second, pays the price. Joe Johnson, number 54, the big hitter, came up and lowered the boom. But Barcelona, very impressive on that last drive. It was capped by Chapman's run, but 15 yards, and it took 15 plays rather, and it took over 7 minutes off. And London continue to struggle in the third quarter. This is just not a third quarter team.
And now here's another time, we keep saying it, but they really want to establish their offense right now and not give Barcelona another chance in this quarter.
Bryant and Brooks are in the backfield. Ronnie West goes in motion on first down. The give is to Bryant, who is met at the line of scrimmage. In fact, behind the line of scrimmage. May just have got back to the line of scrimmage. Victor Hall, number 98, along with Chucky Johnson, making the stop.
And Victor Hall, using his speed to get in there, took the inside route over Chris Lundberg. And you don't see Hall getting in too often because he's basically a quick pass rushing kind of guy and only weighs about 240 pounds.
Meanwhile, Kenny McIntyre continuing to get treatment. Second down and 10, the pressure comes. Johnson gets rid of it to Larry Wallace, who is stopped short of first down yardage. Tracy Smith with some help from Tommy Thigpen.
And Tracy Smith had given Wallace a lot of room, and Johnson made a nice read on that. But Smith came up to make the saving tackle for the first down. Big third down play now. London's going with the beefy team. They bring in the reserve, Dan Schmidt, the reserve offensive lineman. He'll play tight end on one side, and Jerry Anderson will line up as a flanker behind Mike Titley. So they've got three big guys on the end of the line.
London 6 of 9 on third downs, and you can make that 7 of 10. The big guys did their job, and the London drive stays alive. That was an important play right there. London keeping the ball.
And they went behind big Terrence Wisdom. You see him getting up there. Big first down for London.
The ball to the 42-yard line. Tony Brooks remains in the game. Out of the I formation, Brooks is behind Bryant. Johnson drops back to pass. Has a lot of time. Goes long looking for Wallace. And it's broken up. Smart heads-up play from Eric Turner. Wallace never really had a shot at it.
And Eric Turner was beaten and then turned the wrong way, but Johnson hangs the ball up on this. Now watch, Johnson's looking for a receiver, and then all of a sudden he's going to look down and see Wallace is open, but he hangs the ball a bit. It doesn't get there, and Turner has time to recover, but Turner turns the wrong way, and Larry Wallace had it, and Turner just got his hand in to knock the ball out of Wallace's hands.
20 to 15 here, second down coming up. The give is to Bryant, who gets nailed. He'll lose 3 yards. Kevin O'Brien and Tommy Thigpen came in there, and nothing doing for Bryant.
And tough to run a draw against the 3-4 when the linebackers aren't coming. When you get them coming, there's the possibility of holes, but when they're sitting back, it gives them time to read that play.
Oh, Barcelona really doing it on the ground in this quarter. Elsewhere, it was 13-6 Scotland. Third quarter, it's now Amsterdam resuming normal service, 20 to 13. And in the all-German derby, it's Frankfurt 14, Rhein-Fire 27. That goes in as a big upset if that stays.
Topsy-turvy World League.
Johnson slips, gets back, and he's got his man, Ronnie West, who gets a block. In fact, it's Mike Titley. Chris Crooms pushes him out of bounds. There is a flag. Quan Long in on the tackle as well, but good play from Titley, but a flag.
I think the flag's going to be for hitting Johnson. Kevin O'Brien hitting Johnson after the pass.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 91 on the defense. Tacked on from the end of the run, first down.
Oh, Kevin O'Brien, the man assessed.
And he doesn't like the call. Now Brad Johnson slips dropping back to pass, but he gets himself back up, and O'Brien, who was dropping out, now comes on the rush.
It's late.
It's late, and he also got his helmet in right under the chin. The crowd doesn't like it. O'Brien doesn't like it.
Well, Barcelona have had a couple of bad calls go against them. I'm not sure that's one of them.
You've got to be careful in that situation. If you just grab him like O'Brien started to do, it's okay. If you put the helmet in, you can get the call.
And the ball now at the 29-yard line. Brooks runs into his own man and gains maybe a yard. Can London put something on the board in the third quarter?
And Joe Johnson that time from the outside linebacker spot came in and down the line and caught the ball carrier. Nice play by Joe Johnson.
He is the big hitter on this team. Red Kellin, the defensive coordinator, was saying he's the big hitter. We don't always know who he's going to hit.
Just sees a blue jersey and bangs it.
Johnson quietly effective this evening. goes to the left. Ronnie West has got it. It's a first down London. Chris Crooms and Tracy Smith were there, but another completion and another first down for the Monarchs.
And give some credit to Tony Brooks on that play, because Joe Johnson was coming after Brad Johnson, no relation, and Brooks leveled him with a good block.
Brad Johnson completing 12 of 15. For 128. No interceptions so far, one touchdown, a big play to Allen early. They needed a big game from him. He's giving it to them so far. They stay on the ground. Tony Brooks is stacked up. Nothing doing there. Tommy Thigpen in on the stop. Back to the line of scrimmage.
And number 54, Joe Johnson as well. The 3 big plays in a row with Johnson. The Barcelona linebackers are doing a tremendous job.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. With the score, the London Monarchs 20, the Barcelona Dragons 15 will be back.
The U.S. Army has been attacked by land, by air, and now by shore. He's been given 1,000 regulations.
Drop and give me push-ups.
All the way up and down, right?
And he's out to break every one of them.
Hot Wheels.
Get a hold of yourself, soldier.
Can I call you General Sweet Pants?
Pauly Shore
You a funny boy, huh?
is in the Army now, playing this month on DirecTV.
A tough night for Cowboy Jack, trailing the London Monarchs 20-15 as we start the fourth quarter, and the Monarchs looking for more. On second down and long, Johnson drops, fires over the middle. He's got Brooks, who gets past one man, still on his feet. First down, Tony Brooks.
And that's we were talking about the Tony Brooks of old, the open field running he's so good at. And the running game's taking London nowhere, but they're able to establish the passing game against the Dragons.
And that all the way down to the 4-yard line. Barcelona, Jack McNell, no, they've got to come up with a big play here. They lead the league in takeaways. They need one now. Johnson fakes to Bryant, fires, it's broken up and almost picked off by Ken Alexander. We just said they needed the takeaway. They almost got it.
The linebackers, the inside linebackers reacting to Johnson. They follow him out of the pocket, and you'll see them, Ken Alexander in the middle of your screen, taking the drop. When the pass comes, his hands are up, cuts it off, and can't get to the ball. That's your classic bend but don't break defense. A lot of yards given up, but a lot of takeaways.
Second down, the give is to Brooks, who is nailed at the line of scrimmage. Barcelona trying to stiffen up here. Eric Lindstrom in on the stop with Ken Alexander. Byron Bonds there as well.
Barcelona last in pass defense and total defense, which is mostly because they're last in pass defense, but the 29 takeaways have helped them to make up for that. You can pass on this team because they don't have a great pass rush. Most of their pass rushing comes from Kevin O'Brien, the linebacker, but they also have to use him in a lot of coverage situations.
This could be a big play. Third and goal. Johnson with time, fires, touchdown. Mike Titley.
And you saw how much time Johnson had to look for the receivers. Sooner or later, someone has to come open, and that someone was Mike Titley.
13:34 left in the fourth quarter, and London have got some real daylight now between themselves and the Barcelona Dragons, and he knows it.
Jack McNell wasn't quite so gray when the game started.
Silvestri to attempt the extra point. No problems at all. It's going London's way tonight. They lead the Barcelona Dragons 27-15. We'll be back.
Different types. Unitas was a quarterback that would get the snap, go back into the pocket, and he would wait and wait till the last possible instance to throw the football, and then take the hit after he threw the ball. Marino is a quarterback that gets back there, makes the quick decision, fires the ball, and it's an explosion when he lets that football go.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back.
Behind the walls of Shawshank Prison,
It's my wife! Don't you understand? It's my wife! Get her out!
you can't stop a man from dreaming.
There's something inside they can't touch.
Sometimes you can't stop him at all. Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, The Shawshank Redemption.
Playing on Direct Ticket.
London on top here, 27-15. Mike Titley with the touchdown reception. Silvestri kicks the ball to Lindsey Chapman, who fields at his 8. Can't quite break through the hole and is downed at around the 33-yard line. So a touchdown here, and a touchdown in Germany as well. Rhine leading 34-14 over the Frankfurt Galaxy now. That one is a real shock.
And here's the touchdown again. Now, we talked about Brad Johnson getting time. Barcelona with not much rust. He can move in the pocket, and he sees Titley coming free. If you give him that much time, Titley's going to eventually be open.
13 plays, 70 yards. Mike Titley's 7th catch of the evening. That the biggest of them so far. And Johnson has completed 14 of 18. Now what can Walker do in response? The easy one is to Chapman. He gets past tacklers, breaks tackles, runs into Demetrius Davis and gets down to midfield. But a real malfunction there in the defensive secondary of the London Monarchs.
And Lindsey Chapman moving so easily. If he doesn't run into Demetrius Davis, he might have been gone on that play. Now Walker goes back and doesn't see anybody open. He's looking, and there's no one there, so he just dumps it off. And here's the coverage. Lance had him, but he moves inside and just keeps moving in. If he doesn't bump into Davis, he could have made another 10 yards for sure. Chuck Bradley came up limping on that one.
Eric Stevens.
Sorry, it was Louis Age.
Louis Age, whose father is on the sidelines watching him. He's Louis Age Jr. This is Louis Age III we're looking at here. The former Chicago Bear, played 16 games with them as a rookie 3 years ago.
Christopher Perez moves into that left tackle slot for Age, and let's see if London tries to do something with that.
It's first down, Barcelona. They stay on the ground, nothing doing. Nick Smith, number 56, came up and nailed Ricky Blake.
So now London with a little room to move, sending the linebacker in. Worked like a charm that time.
Louis Age returns to active duty. He is one of the biggest players in the World League. 340 pounds. Jonathan Kirksey, I think, is the biggest guy at 367 for the Rhine Fire, but this fella's up there. Second down. Walker drops. That ball was tipped, and it takes a one hop to Mario Henry. Eric Stevens had the coverage, and nothing doing there for the Dragons.
And Walker saw the rush coming and knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly, but he underthrows it. Let's take a look on the replay. Louis Age is back in. Horace Morris, this is size against speed. and Lewis Age just pushing him inside. Nothing doing there.
Lewis Age has done a pretty good job on Horace Morris, the World League sack leader with 6, but yet to do any damage in the Barcelona backfield. 3rd down and 10. And they're coming after him, and a flag comes in, and that play will stop, and there was a lot of movement on the London side.
And Carlton Lance was coming from that defensive back position again, which they like to do in 3rd and long. I think there was movement in the Barcelona line. They saw them coming.
Start, prior to the snap, number 80, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That goes against Mario Henry, the wide receiver, who must have jumped early.
It sounded like he said false start after the snap, which wouldn't make any sense.
That makes no sense at all. But the bottom line is it's another 5 yards tacked on for the Dragons, who have a huge 3rd down now, 3rd and 15. Knowing they've got to keep the drive alive. Walker takes a deep drop, got a lot of time, goes over the middle, and it's a 1st down catch. Eric Stevens on the coverage, but Tyree Davis came up big time for them there.
And that is big time. We've got Horace Morris and Lewis Age having a little word. But now watch Walker, he goes back. He's got 15 yards to make here, and Tyree Davis runs a 16-yard pattern. And Walker gets it into him, just behind Newbill, just in front of the defensive back.
So Tyree Davis, the big play man on this Barcelona Dragons offense. And with 11 and a half minutes left and your team down by 12, you need plays like that. His 5th catch of the evening. The most important so far. Pressure comes from Jenkins, but Walker gets time. And close to 1st down yardage again is Demetrius Davis, and he draws a huge crowd. They've kept Davis pretty well under control this evening.
Although Davis was wide open when he got the ball. They're aware of him getting it, and they're coming in to stop him when he does. But Demetrius Davis was there with yardage, and you see how important that touchdown was for London, because the Dragons cannot come down and run the ball down the field because they know they need 2 scores to get a lead.
This is nothing for Demetrius against the Monarchs. That's chicken feed right there. If he'd caught that touchdown pass, how different it could have been. 2nd down and a matter of inches for the Barcelona Dragons. Walker gives to Chapman, who bursts through the hole and picks up around 3 yards. That'll keep the drive alive. The clock runs. It's down to 10 and a half minutes left.
And this is what the Dragons need to do now, is get in for the quick score, and then their defense has to stop London. Then they can try to go in for the next score. Conversely, London, they want to hold right now, just waste as much time as they can, and when they get the ball back, keep it.
Demetrius Davis checks back into the lineup for the Dragons. Shelby Hill goes out. Nick Smith, the linebacker, coming in for London. 1st down, Barcelona at London's 24. They fake the handoff to Chapman, and running room here. And he's got Demetrius Davis, who got open, fumbles the ball. And London may have recovered. We'll have to see what happens there. But certainly London think they've got it. Carlton Lance, Nick Smith, I think it was, that forced the fumble, and Lance has come up with it. So Demetrius Davis misfires again.
And another big play by London, because Jay Walker was running for the sideline and saw Davis had the right play, and Davis had a lot of running room. Now watch him from the H-back position there in the slot. He's standing up. He comes down. He sees Walker's in trouble, so he moves to open space. He knows there's nobody there. He catches it and turns. And it was Nick Smith who knocked the ball loose with the tackle. Bad break for Demetrius Davis, but a great play by London.
Another bad break for Demetrius, and that, the first turnover of the game. Now that stat in itself is worthy of comment. These two teams are terrible at turning the ball over, but they both tightened up.
Couldn't have come at a worse time for the Barcelona Dragons, and it looks like there was motion in the London line. Everybody's pointing at everybody else here.
Byron Bonds certainly moved, but was he drawn? And how does Jack Bicknell pull this one out of the fire? Three flags down all over the field. Phil Luckett will adjudicate.
Ball start. Prior to the snap, number 73, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's Mike Moody, the tackle from the Seattle Seahawks.
So that's going to push them back half the distance to the goal. They get to start on the 2-yard line now.
Well, if Barcelona can hold Bobby Hammond's team here, the fumble from Davis may not prove to be as costly as we first thought. And they try to get the running game established, and they pick up maybe a yard. The Dragons were ready and waiting for that one.
What's costly from Barcelona's point of view is that they're going to lose time, and remember, they need 2 scores to get back in this game. One's not going to do it. 2 touchdowns.
Carlton Lance coming up with the ball after Davis fumbled. Nick Smith forcing that fumble. Jack Bicknell with a lot of cares and worries on his shoulders. His team down by 12. Second and long. London out of the I formation. Brooks looks to turn the corner and goes past the 5-yard line down to about the 7. Sean Thomas comes up and makes the stop, but they're still quite a way short of first down yardage.
And Tony Brooks did a nice job of keeping moving there when there wasn't a hole and eventually getting good yardage out of that play.
It's a cramp for Chucky Johnson.
I think this might be, it's getting cool here once the sun's gone down in Barcelona. It was hot earlier on today, and I think players may just be reacting to that cold weather.
So Chucky getting a stretch to work that cramp out of there. In camp with Phoenix a couple of years ago. Played his college ball at Auburn. And London have really come out with a good balanced offense this evening. Over 100 yards rushing and around 160 passing. Those are the kind of numbers that as a head coach you're looking for.
And the strange thing is they haven't really done the 2 together. They had the drive where they rushed the ball almost all the way down the field, and then they had the one where they passed the ball all the way down the field.
Brad Johnson has been ice cold tonight. Clinical efficiency.
Now here's where that transatlantic use of the word cold comes in.
Well, yeah.
We'll explain that later.
I meant it as a compliment. Johnson drops back, puts it upstairs. Nothing doing there. Larry Wallace arguing that he was being held by Tracy Smith, but the officials unimpressed. So the Dragons hold firm, and they will or should get the ball in pretty decent field position.
And Larry Wallace and Tracy Smith were so intent on each other that I think they both looked up and right into the bank of lights and never even saw the ball. But yeah, to me, the ice cold means that he's just not completing any passes and they're not coming in.
To me, ice cold means he's cool, he's calm, he's very much in control of the situation, which he has been.
You mean cool? Say cool.
Fexico back to punt. Gets it off.
Nice punt.
Forces Tyree Davis way back. And Jason Orton's there and covers the ball at the 33. Davis picks it up and is nailed for a loss of 3. Victor Ebubadike coming up for his 2nd special teams tackle of the game. The Monarchs in control here, leading it 27-15. We'll be back.
That a player gets himself in shape, ready to play, weight training and all of the other things that improve a player to get him ready to play the game are certainly at the highest level that they've ever been. But when you go back to basics, and that's the old way of saying it, you have to go back to basics, and that's blocking and that's tackling.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
People don't do the gauntlet anymore. We are going to risk death a number of times on this trip. You're going to scream your guts out. You'll love it. Pump it hard!
From the director of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon. The River Wild.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
27-15, London over Barcelona here in the Olympic Stadium. 2 fellas here thought they were in a foot race. They forgot the ball.
And we talked about that, Tracy Smith and Larry Wallace. They're looking at each other. They're trying to see where they are. I think, look out, Larry.
Hello.
That's your head it's headed for. Incoming.
Brad Johnson seemed happy enough on the sideline. Over 600 yards total offense these two teams have put together. Jay Walker would like to stack a few more yards up on that number. And he has to if the Dragons are going to get back into it. 8.5 minutes left. They need a quick touchdown. Walker goes over the middle. He's got Davis, who's in one-on-one coverage with the safety, Kevin Porter. And what a mismatch that is. Davis says he loves to get one-on-one with safeties.
Demetrius Davis is a big guy, not quite big enough to be an effective tight end by NFL standards, but good size for an H-back.
I'll tell you what I like about this fella. Talking to him yesterday, he's the first player in this league that I've heard say, I want to win the World Bowl. Not I want to get back to the NFL, I want to do this, I want to do that. Give me the World Bowl.
Well, Demetrius Davis for the last couple of years has been working quite happily, driving a forklift, playing lots of 3-on-3 basketball. When he got the call and Jack McNeil said, you want to come back? He said, if I play for you, if I play for Barcelona, and if we've got a shot at the World Bowl.
Well, he's got the first two. The shot at the World Bowl is going to be tough, but the second effort from Davis has given the Dragons a first down. He must have made 3 yards with Porter on his back.
And on that play, Walker saw London's linebackers coming, so he immediately looked over the middle for Davis. And then Demetrius Davis took it for the first down. Barcelona need to strike quickly here because time's running out on them.
It's a first down at their own 44 for the Dragons. 8:04 left in the ball game. London ahead by 12 in a game neither team can even think about losing. The loser here could be done for the season. Walker drops, good protection, fires over the middle, complete, and extra yardage. Big play just when they needed it. The ball pops up loose and Carlton Lance comes up with it, but no question of a fumble there. Tyree Davis has come up with another big play. He's answering the call.
And Tyree Davis was hitting the ground because he thought he could have been through there. Just a slant pattern over the middle. It's delivered by Walker, gets Davis in stride, and he knows there's running room there. Nice saving tackle by Eric Stevens.
But the Dragons needed that to the 24-yard line. A.J. Jenkins checks in late.
London had to take the timeout because they got confused on their substitutions. Jenkins started to come off and then headed back in. They didn't know what defense they would be in, so they had to call the timeout.
Well, it was so important for both these teams, having lost last week, to get off to a winning way this week. The loser here really can effectively forget about it.
Yeah, and now remember, second half standings, Amsterdam's not a part of that because they've already clinched the berth. So right now, the Rhine Fire look like they'll go 2-0. Everybody else will be 1-1 except the Claymores. That's assuming that the Monarchs win. The Claymores and the Dragons would be 0-2. The loser of this game digging a big hole for themselves.
I'll tell you, if London hang on here, the game against the Rhine Fire next week becomes huge on Bank Holiday Monday.
Which is the beauty of this split schedule. In a league where you've got teams getting together quickly, and if a team gels late, they can go right into the World Bowl.
40 first downs in this game so far. 23 for Barcelona. Walker comfortably over 200 yards passing. Decent stats. No touchdowns. First down. They fake the handoff. Walker tosses it up high. Demetrius Davis has got it one-on-one. In fact, it's Joey Mickey, the blocking tight end, who picks it up for his second catch of the evening. Nick Smith on the tackle.
And that was a good catch by Joey Mickey because that ball was floated high. Of course, he's a big guy at 6'5", but he had to go up for it and come down with it.
I tell you, for a fella who supposedly can't catch the ball, he's come up with 2 very big catches this evening.
The thing with Joey Mickey is at that size, he doesn't run great patterns beyond about 5 yards.
2nd and 4, less than 7 minutes remaining. Back to the ground and stacked up. And not much doing there at all. Nick Smith again in on the tackle with a bit of help from Herman Smith.
Nick Smith's having a big second half for the London Monarchs, and that was a big tackle because now it brings up a 3rd and short. Barcelona really have to waste a play here to get that first down.
It was Nick Smith that forced that fumble of Demetrius Davis.
And the clock's running at about 6 minutes to play now.
3rd and short. Barcelona looking to try and stay alive. Jay Walker on the quarterback sneak. And with his size and his speed and his courage, that's almost a formality.
Walker took that one, got hit, and then made another couple of yards on it. He's a tough guy to stop, and there you see the clock's running.
There's one quarterback you don't want to tackle, Jay Walker. He's big enough to go one-on-one with linebackers, defensive backs.
Now the Dragons have had trouble today inside the 20 in the red zone. They don't want to have to waste a lot of time here. They want to get in the end zone quickly.
First down. London looking to hold him. Walker with a lot of time, fires, he's got his man, it's a touchdown. The game is alive once again, and it's Tyree Davis.
And Tyree Davis just runs down to the goal line, cuts, and Walker hits him on the cut. Not much you can do when a play is executed that well.
And they're happy again in Barcelona as Tyree Davis tacks on his 6th touchdown of the season. They're within 6 points. Scott Zarady will attempt now what's a very big extra point, and that's through. And we have a 5-point ball game. 6 plays, 66 yards, just over 2 minutes, exactly what Barcelona needed.
And Walker drills this pass in, but it's Tyree Davis right on the break. Walker gets him just after he's made his cut, and Davis, no question on that. Watch Tyree. Watch Jay Walker. We're not going to see Tyree, but let's see what Jay Walker says. Yes!
The first touchdown for Jay Walker. Tyree Davis's 6th of the season. It's a big one. And it looks like this game may go all the way down to the wire.
And now the pressure's on London's offense to just come out and hold the ball. They don't have to come down for another score. They need to hold the ball.
Well, I wonder if we're seeing the exact opposite of what we saw last week in Barcelona, when Barcelona had a big lead but blew it late. Are they going to come from behind this time? The majority of fans here in the Montjuic Stadium in Barcelona will be hoping so. And Dick Curl there, the offensive coordinator, really laying into his men. I haven't seen these Dragons coaches this fired up for a long time. They're a very laid-back group of guys. The kick fielded by Ronnie West at his own 5. And he's nailed at around the 23. Tommy Thigpen with a great special teams tackle. West did well to hang on to the ball and comes off limping.
Ronnie West, good sure hands, just the kind of guy you want to have back. And watch Tommy Thigpen, unguided missile here. Comes in from the right, zap, right on the knees. West goes down, hangs onto the ball, no question.
Barcelona over 400 yards offensively, London 264. But this could be the most important drive of the ball game. Johnson hands off, good running room, still on his feet. First down, Tony Brooks, depending on where they spot it. And that's just what Bobby Hammond ordered.
Yeah, you see Bobby Hammond clapping there because they needed to establish that running game right now to hold the ball. And London's line does a nice job. Double team block there, fire out, and Brooks reads it well, cuts inside and then back out. First down yardage.
And it is a first down. The clock continues to run. We're inside 5 minutes. The Monarchs have moved the ball to the 34. Those numbers phenomenal tonight. Phil Bryant gets the call this time. Is stacked up and nailed and will lose 3 yards. Ken Alexander came up with some help. They're more effective when Brooks is running than with Bryant, I have to say. Bryant there primarily as a blocker.
And on that play, they just stacked up the side that Bryant was heading to. There was absolutely nowhere for him to run. You've got to hit the line quickly right now. London's line's getting those good first blocks. You've got to get there quick.
A loss of 3 yards. Johnson, very efficient tonight. Not big numbers, but great efficiency. Brooks gets the call again, and nothing doing there. Byron Bonds stayed at home, and that's going to bring up a very important third down for the London Monarchs with less than 4 minutes remaining.
And Johnson has been, as you said, ice cold and collected on converting those third downs. But Byron Bonds, the nose tackle, stuffed that play.
Well, this a big play coming up. Robert Jackson, number 88, has checked into the lineup. London tonight, 9 of 13 on third downs, and they go with 4 wide receivers on third and long. Johnson drops, fires. Allen's got it close to midfield and more. How much speed has he got? Down and around the 27-yard line of the Barcelona Dragons, and that may be the play that wins the game for the London Monarchs.
A big third down conversion by the Monarchs. Allen turned Eric Turner inside out, caught the ball for the first down, and then had lots of running room. Take a look now. Johnson delivers to Allen just cutting in. Looks like a breakdown in coverage there, and now Allen with lots of room to move. It's Turner who dragged him down in the end. It was Tracy Smith who had the first coverage on Allen, but this is the play now, puts London in field goal range, which could make things very interesting.
They stay on the ground. Tony Brooks gets outside, gets inside the 20. Sean Thomas, the defensive back, in on the stop, but 7 yards for Brooks. And Allen has only had 2 catches in the ball game, but they've gone for 100 yards.
Well, he's done this in the games the Monarchs win. They get those big plays, and it's been big plays that have gotten there today. One great drive and a lot of big plays.
Allen loves the Barcelona Dragons. We talk about Demetrius Davis getting big days against London. Allen averaged 47 yards a catch on 4 passes in the first meeting between these two. He's averaging 50 on 2 this time. And that is the 2-minute warning. The Monarchs ahead by 5, but they have the ball. We'll be back after this.
You can delegate it to your assistants and hope that they do it, but I've always paid a lot of attention to detail. I just feel that you can't let anything go unnoticed. You have to practice in order to expect your players to perform. So I try to put them in as many situations, game situations, as I can during the week in practice.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
When men do evil.
Who's there?
When the world is in danger. Report.
Police investigation of murder.
And when the adventure begins. Who knows where it will end? Alec Baldwin. The Shadow.
Playing on DirecTV.
The London Monarchs have a 5-point advantage over the Barcelona Dragons with 2 minutes remaining. They also have the ball in a game that really neither side can afford to lose. And is Jack Bicknell staring at a season-ending loss? And is Bobby Hammond looking at a late charge to a possible place in the World Bowl? 2 minutes remaining. London have their destiny in their hands. 2nd down and 3. Johnson gives first down yardage. Victor Ebubadike hangs on to the ball, takes it down to the 15. The clock continues to run.
And now in this situation, the ideal thing for London is simply to hold the ball for the rest of the game. Next best thing is go in for a touchdown, which puts the game basically out of reach. Then kick a field goal, which means that Barcelona would have to come back, score, and get a 2-point conversion. So basically anything for London short of a turnover is good at this stage.
Well, Bobby Hammond's team have had trouble with turnovers all season long. Barcelona lead the league in takeaways, but they haven't got anything out of the London Monarchs tonight. And of all the stats, if this win stays as a win for the London Monarchs, that stat may be the most crucial of all.
And turnovers killed them last week, and lack of turnovers is what's put them in the lead this week.
I'm thinking maybe we shouldn't go for the field goal to put right here. The field goal puts us out of range, but a block loses. I know.
Well, all the coaching staff involved in serious discussions. Charlie Davis there, the offensive line coach, talking to Bobby Hammond. So Bob Zeman, the defensive coordinator, was in there as well.
I'm not so sure we don't take the damn ball and run a play.
Just cast your mind back to that first quarter of the 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown by Eric Stevens. Is that the spark that ignites the London Monarchs World League season? 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Brooks gets no change whatsoever out of Chucky Johnson and Eric Lindstrom.
And Byron Bonds, the nose tackle, the middle guard, doing a good job in the middle. Again, Charlie Davis doesn't want to kick the conversion, doesn't want to kick a field goal because he's worried about what might happen if they do.
Meanwhile, Barcelona are being forced to take their time out, so whatever happens after this, they won't be able to stop the clock.
No. Their backs are against the wall in more ways than one right here.
Well, 3 gives them 8. One thing I'm worried about is I think you're right. But I think it is a decision. I say we go.
We got to go for a field goal. Oh, now listen to me.
We're going to call timeout after this.
All right. What's our best percentage? What do you got? Okay.
This is the last timeout right here. Do we have any left?
They got one more, right?
Do we have any left?
We got 2.
Well, then let's use it at 1 second. Okay. You get with the official and tell him what you're going to do. Okay. Let it run down all the way.
They're going to call timeout here. We'll run it down. 34. They're going to worry about it.
2 seconds.
So Charlie Davis rather emphatic about what to do, but they'll run the clock as long as they can. They'll take one more play and kick the field goal, which will give them an 8-point margin and mean Barcelona has to score and get a 2-point conversion just to tie.
And what an important drive this has been. They give to Brooks, who just plows his way for a few more yards up the middle. It's short of first down yardage, but it forces Barcelona to stop the clock once again. And Jack Bicknell knows time is not on his side. And that's it for Jack. Third and final timeout is the Cowboy riding off into the sunset. Tough to see Barcelona coming back from 0-2, but London at 1-1 with Ryan Fire to come opens up a whole new set of possibilities.
Now, hey, now listen now, they're really slanting down on the 45 lead. Tell Tony to be alert to just bounce it outside, okay? 45 Bob. Yeah, 45 Bob, okay? Tell that linebacker's really coming down. Tell Fielder's got to make a hell of a block. Cut his outside leg. Yeah, stick it in there and hold the ball.
Tony Brooks is going to follow Phil Bryant to the right. Phil Bryant's got to cut the linebacker down. You heard Bobby Hammond say get his outside leg. They want Tony Brooks to be able to go outside of Phil Bryant as he follows him through the hole.
It's third down and around 3, and with no timeouts remaining for Jack Bicknell, you get the feeling that a first down here for the Monarchs should just about clinch it.
Big defensive play of the game for the Barcelona Dragons.
Third down, they give to Brooks, who trips his way through the middle and may have the first down yardage. Sean Thomas was there, but from where that ball's been spotted, it's a first down.
He's got the yardage, and it looks like the London Monarchs will have the game as a result.
Well, we said at the start of the game, Mike, we needed a big one from Tony Brooks, and Damon Baldwin yesterday said if Tony Brooks is on, we win the ball game.
And Brooks cut that one back inside and made that yardage on his own effort.
In fact, they've given it a very unfavourable spot as far as the Monarchs are concerned. It looks like it may even be short from there, and they're bringing the chains on.
It is. You're absolutely right about the mark, because I actually had it marked up by the 5-yard line.
They've pushed it back a yard.
Yeah.
But it's still, no, it's well short of first down yardage now. And I think for the first time in the game, the London Monarchs get a bad break. Because that looks a very unfavourable spot, and it brings up fourth down.
Brad Johnson is talking to the referee right now and telling him that they're going to let the clock go down to 1 second and then take a timeout before they try the field goal.
44 lead. I write 44 lead.
Just so the referee is quick to react when he calls for the timeout.
I want to hear goal line so I know what's going on.
Play from London.
Hurry up.
This is agony for Jack Bicknell.
Change of plan from the Monarchs. They're just going to go for it.
Fourth down and inches. The crowd getting into it. Brooks is met at the line of scrimmage. A second effort may have done enough, but Ken Alexander came up and made a huge stop, and it looks like the Dragons have held.
Now what this does, it's a long shot, but it opens the game up for the Dragons to have a chance to win, which the field goal would not. Now the first down marker on this is the orange stick right there. Tony Brooks follows Phil Bryant, but look at the penetration Barcelona's got. They meet him 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Brooks can twist and turn all he wants. He's not going to get over that marker. And now You've got just over a minute to play and no timeouts. You've got to go 93 yards.
No timeouts left.
All you need is the touchdown to win. You don't need the conversion to tie any longer.
And we injured London Monarch down, and I've got a feeling it may be Tony Brooks. The Monarchs never make it easy for themselves, do they?
Definitely not. And you can see, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad call because you can see what Bobby Hammond's thinking. If we miss it, they still have to go the length of the field. But it does open up the chance for them to win, where if you kick the field goal, then they have to score and get the two-point conversion, and the best they can do is a tie.
Yeah, you're right. Now, a big play. Tyree Davis comes up with something big, gets out of bounds. It opens up possibilities. Kevin Porter and the defensive unit have got some serious work to do now.
They have not.
Now watch the right side of your screen here as Brooks comes in. The offensive tackle, Moody, number 73, is going to roll, and he's going to hit Brooks's leg.
And in fact, it's Mike Moody that's gone down. Mike was at the bottom of that pile. And while this may not have much impact on tonight's game, this could have a significant bearing on the Monarchs' future season.
Mike Moody's been one of the outstanding offensive tackles in the World League this season. The NFL player from the Seattle Seahawks. He was the real key. He and Chris Lundberg were the real key up in Scotland when the Monarchs got their win, because they kept those defensive ends off Brad Johnson on that winning drive.
So Moody coming off to sporting applause, but it's not looking good. He's done for the night, that's for sure.
And tough situation now for the Barcelona Dragons, because they have to move downfield and they have to stop the clock. But watch them go to the sidelines.
97 yards in 64 seconds. That's the equation for the Dragons. Jay Walker. He gets Mario Bailey, who stops the clock, gets out of bounds. It's a first down, 57 seconds left.
And you saw Mario Bailey think about going upfield and then say, whoa, I got to get out of bounds. I got to stop the clock.
The worst thing Mario Bailey could have done was stay in bounds.
Exactly. The extra 5 or 6 yards he would have picked up aren't worth it. You've got to stop the clock. That's your priority in this situation.
15 of those 93 yards have gone on that one play. They're at the 22, less than a minute remaining. First down, Walker, lots of time, goes the other way, got a man again, it's complete. It's Mario Bailey on the other side, it's another first down, and just 5 seconds taken off the play clock.
And Walker's unloading quickly because London's pass rush is coming. Those defensive ends know one sack is going to be pretty much all they need, because it's going to eat that clock up.
Another first down, and Jay Walker from the New England Patriots is going to Mario Henry from the New England Patriots. First down, fans on their feet in Barcelona. Walker pump fakes, goes high once again. That's incomplete, but that stops the clock. He was listening, he was looking for Tyree Davis.
Special left, 960 comeback. Special left, 960 comeback.
Special left formation. They're going to have probably 2 wide receivers out on the left. 960 comeback. Watch for him looking on the back side of the field. He's going to look probably to his left and then throw right.
Tyree Davis lines up wide left. Henry and Hill wide right. Second down. Lots of time for Walker, who goes for Tyree Davis. Once again, Eric Stevens came up, but that's another 17 yards.
Now watch Tyree Davis up on the top of your screen. He's going to take it about as deep as he can with a short drop. He fakes in and goes out. He's got the room, he's out of bounds. Eric Stevens giving him a lot of cushion there, but you know they're going to go for the sidelines.
48 yards in 3 plays for the Dragons. Walker is flushed out of the pocket. And he looked for Mario Henry, but I think with the speed he threw that ball away, he was throwing that one away.
And Jay Walker just trying to stop the clock on that one. Let's take a listen to Jack McNeil.
Wide right. 860 Z seam, wide right, 860 Z seam.
Wide right. Even I can understand that.
And watch the Z-man, the wide receiver on the right, crossing here.
36 seconds left. Second down and 10. Walker, lots of time. Goes over the middle. Risky play. Looking once again. In fact, it's Shelby Hill he was looking for. Carlton Lance had it. But even if the catch had been made, they couldn't have stopped the clock from there.
No, they'd have to run down and take an incompletion to do it. He's looking for the man on the cross. Just like we said, actually, if he delivers the ball as smoothly, it's probably a completion, but the ball's wobbling a bit. Slipped out of his hand.
Carlton Lance had excellent coverage on Shelby Hill. Third down. 31 seconds left. Over the middle, and it's Demetrius Davis trying to turn back.
And now the big play of the game for the Dragons.
Here we go. Special left, 960 Y option. Same thing, special left, 960 Y option.
Same play we saw before. They went to Tyree Davis on the left sideline.
Fourth down for the Barcelona Dragons. Their season on the line. No timeouts, 28 seconds left. He's got his man, it's a first down, but he can't stop the clock. Rick Newbill came up and made the tackle. Jay Walker is just going to ground this to stop the clock.
And the clock's running while the referees do a slow job of getting the ball back into the play at the line of scrimmage.
They stop it with 10 seconds left, which may give them 2 shots at the end zone.
Wide right. Wide right.
860 Z seam.
860 Z seam. Wide right, 860 Z seam.
They look in that cross again over the middle. Look for the inside receiver running a post pattern in the middle of the screen, of the middle of the field.
Well, if the Dragons go down, it will not be without an enormous struggle. What a battle they've put up. Can the Monarchs hold them? Walker goes for Davis, and it's broken up, and that was close. Carlton Lance, Kenny McIntyre in on the play. It leaves Jack Bicknell and the Dragons with 1 play left, but that wasn't far away.
And if Tyree Davis had made this catch, the big question would have been, could the Dragons have gotten another play off? As Davis was going down right there, stopped at the 2-yard line, would they have been able to stop the clock in time to get one last play? This is it for the Barcelona Dragons. 5 seconds to play.
Walker must be thinking end zone. He's got the arm to get the ball into the end zone. Can he connect? Barcelona need a miracle. Walker puts it upstairs. Mario Bailey, it's out of his hands. And the London Monarchs have won. And it bounced off Mario Henry's fingertips. It could not have been closer.
Right through his hands. Mario Henry was there and the ball was delivered. And look at Mario Henry, he knows it. Walker did a great job of standing in the pocket and taking his time until receivers were in the end zone. His line does a great, look at the protection. Now he's got Henry, so he throws it and delivers. And it's just tipped away. It wasn't even through his hands. Watch the coverage. Right there, just the hand, Edward Buck. And Kevin Porter gets the tip on it, and Jay Walker, he knew it was there, he knew it was close, and the Monarchs hang on for a big road win. 3-1 on the road now.
So, the London Monarchs have done it the hard way. That was heart-stopping stuff, but their season stays alive. They win it 27-22. Back to Gary in the studio.